technical director, and Max Allegri, the coach. And so, for the last 3 weeks, the owner, Jerry Cardinale, has been leading a search for not only a new coach, but a new football structure at the club. And the first thing that they've done is hire Ruben Amorim. This comes after they spoke to Andoni Iraola in the week going into the final weekend of the season in Serie A. They also spoke to Mauricio Pochettino. And after Allegri's sacking, they also spoke to Matthias Jaisler, Olivier Glasner, Sebastian Hoeneß. But Amorim, when they went to Portugal to see him, really blew them away. They believe that he's compatible not only with the AC Milan that they want to see, they want the team to be exciting, modern, progressive again, but also in terms of the player personnel that they have. Because Milan played 3-4-3 or 3-5-2 last year, but they believe that Ruben Amorim's interpretation of that system is much better than Max Allegri's. So let's see what happens, but I think there is now something to look forward to for AC Milan fans as we go into the summer transfer window and the new season.
Exciting, modern, progressive coach. Critch, you obviously followed Ruben Amorim a lot during his time at Manchester United. Yeah. Does that stack up?
You want the honest answer?
Yeah, well, we're all about honesty on this podcast.
Yes,
okay?
we are. No, not always, I would say. It wasn't, and not consistently. But I don't think that means it can't be in the future as well. I think, what James saying that there, I think he's, presenting Milan's point of view on that. And I saw some quote by the Milan owner, Jerry Cardinale, yesterday. I think it's quote, "We've been following him for years and his style of play at Sporting is exactly what we are looking for." Now, that seems to gloss over 14 months that I definitely sat through, which included 24 wins in 63 games in all competitions. Look, that isn't a good record, and that record was never going to be able to sustain a Manchester United manager. But broadly speaking, I might be in a minority here. I did think that United improved this season under him compared to the first season under him. And it might be an unpopular opinion, but if it hadn't blown up in the way it did behind the scenes, then does he actually maybe even get Champions League football in what was a rather low-quality Premier League, much of a muchness? Potentially. I think there was other issues, though, that were perhaps away from the pitch, even as the results weren't improving. There was questions about profiling, the treatment of Kobe Mainu, translation of ideas on the training ground, I think, was a big thing. And when Carrick came in, there was a big contrast between just how simple and clear his idea was and how convoluted and exact Amorim's needed to be. It's interesting listening to James there and him saying that Amorim's gone in there in some hotel suite in Milan in front of the Duomo or whatever, and he's blew them away, because I can imagine that. I can see it because I was there. I've sat in rooms with him, and he is a very compelling personality. He's a very charismatic person.
That was a big thing when he joined United, wasn't it?
Exactly.
He was saying this is a charismatic coach.
Exactly. I think that's a huge reason why he was persuaded United to appoint him and why he won them over. And to be honest, it's a huge reason why he won over a lot of journalists. Won over is a bit strong, but he always had a little bit more rope than the results perhaps deserved, if you like, because you felt that, look, if someone's got the personality to turn this club around, it's him. But I even after those 14 months, I'm still sat here wondering just how good a manager he is. If he's not, like, all due respect to his achievements in Portugal, he's not going to be coming up against Rio Ave, Estoril, Casapia, these teams that are, some of them, League One standard, to be honest, in that Portuguese first division. It's a very different level, and he still is untested, unproven, certainly at that sort of level. So it's going to be fascinating to see how he gets on.
Yeah. James referenced there that AC Milan spoke with the likes of Andoni Iraola. Of course, we know he's now gone to Liverpool. Mauricio Pochettino, Oliver Glasner, who's left Palace and is out of a job at the moment. Liam, listening to these names, is Amorim the standout name when we mention these?
Not particularly, certainly not post-Manchester United. I mean, what James referred to about the system that they want to play, 3-4-3, that would lean you towards Amorim or perhaps Oliver Glasner, who played that system at Crystal Palace, although every coach has a slightly different variation on it. What I find interesting is, almost regardless of which coach they've gone for, they've made this their first appointment rather than going and getting a sporting director or a chief executive. Like, part of what I always felt about Amorim, although this was diluted by the end because it was so clear that he'd also made a mess of it, was
England fans will be getting ready for today's big game.
Welcome to Haaland's Bank, Revolut, where he earns Rev points on his daily spending.
how would he do in a club with a more functional structure? Because United at the time clearly had bigger problems than just Amorim. But Milan have no structure. They sacked everyone after missing the Champions League. So I just find it quite interesting that you make the coach manager the first port of call, because now do you go and get a sporting director who you know works with him? Or do you get someone just in isolation who you want and then just hope that these people who may not have ever met before click? So that you more often see it top down. You appoint the most senior level and then go down. But I do understand, with the coaching market being what it is, why Milan maybe felt they had to act now.
He did want to be the manager, not the coach, as he famously said. So maybe this just gives him all the authority he actually wanted in the first place.
You've already sort of mentioned some of the issues, come the end of his tenure at Manchester United. The formation, this was the big one, wasn't it? The fact that he insisted on playing with a back three, he was super stubborn about it. And that seemed like, a culture war that really developed at Old Trafford over his time. But in a way, that seems to be maybe why Milan want him.
Yeah, and if they've been playing that system last season as well, and if there's that continuity there, I think that stands them in good stead, because a huge problem at United was just the transition from one to the other and how sudden it was. And again, coming back to profiling of players and what's the best position within roles within that system. There was a little bit of chat in our Talk of the Devils WhatsApp last night about whether they thought he would change and go back to a 4-3-3. And to be honest, I don't think he will, because I suspect even here, and this is just speculation, but I think he's probably even quite frustrated that he did compromise a little bit towards the end, and he did show that little bit of leverage to the board and played a 4-3-3 against Newcastle, I think. And he's a coach of conviction. He's a coach of his own idea. He's got a very strong belief in this. I've wrote multiple times about this, and speaking to people who worked with him right in his first days at Casa Pia, the small Portuguese club that he got his first job at. And that's the only times previous to that he changed formation. And I was trying to dig into why and how and, what caused him that moment of doubt. And I think it was just, he from that moment onwards, he was just set on this. And he sees it as like his understanding, the way that he views the game. I don't think there's any chance of him changing. But what stands Milan in good stead is that if there's that continuity there from last season, and if the squad roles fit, then it can be a success.
You've got to be able to adapt, though, haven't you?
You do, but to be honest, and I would make the argument that he did adapt in certain ways this season. Once, start of the season, United, there was clear differences in the way that they played last season compared to this. A lot more long balls out of the back, a lot more physical, a lot more direct, not so much of a preponderance on keeping the ball in safe possession, actually more in line with the sort of exciting football that James mentioned in his video. Whether he keeps those kind of tactical trends, now moving to a different league, a different country, a very different sort of landscape in Serie A, will be interesting to see. I think fundamentally,
up towards the main man up front, Jordan Ayew, 121 caps now, one more than his brother Andre. He becomes the record cap holder for his country. A famous family, of course, in Ghanaian football.
Great achievement, yeah.
Yeah, he struggled with Leicester, hasn't he?
He has, yeah, only 6 goals and I think 45 appearances last season, but certainly for the Ghanaian national side, he always seems to produce.
And they're pressing hard on their left here, Ghana. They have possession. The ball is rolled back to the central midfield player. They've got 2 hard workers in there, Elisha Owusu and the younger Yurinchi. But it's given away, picked up by Panama, all in red. Referee spotted something, and it's going to be a free kick. And I don't think a lot of the fans who came here anticipated wet weather.
Oh, they should have done. It's Toronto. Anything can happen by this lake.
Indeed, and when the wind comes off the lake, the 2 temporary stands at either end wobble, apparently. It's left some fans feeling a little bit seasick in the experience. The the additions to the ground, 17,000 temporary seats in the north and south stands. You'll have seen the pictures on your television. One of the stands looks as if the roof is over the lower enclosure, if you like, and then they've added this extra bit behind. I don't know what viewing is like up there, but they'll be absolutely saturated. Panama have possession on the halfway line. Jose Cordoba, like so many in the side, born in Panama City. To his right is Giovanni Ramos. And now this is a promising attack. Into the box it comes, a great effort. And a fine save by the goalkeeper pushing it away. I think that was Waterman who had their first effort of the game. First effort of these World Cup finals.
That was a good hit. It was a superb cross from the right-hand side. Gio Rodriguez, I think it was, who swung the ball in lots of pace, about knee height, and Waterman really got himself over the football, pulled up, actually forced Ziggy into a fantastic save. A little bit acrobatic, but nice early action.
He's 35 now, Cecilio Waterman. He plays in Chile. He's played most of his career in Uruguay and Chile over the years. 16 years, 10 clubs, bit of a nomad, bit of a character. And they have possession here with Carlos Harvey out wide towards the right-hand side. They try and keep the ball in play out there by Christian Martinez. Plays his football in Israel at Kiryat Shimoni. He's got a bright white-tinted buzz cut. And another experienced player. Couldn't keep the ball in play. They're seeing again this chance effort.
It was Murillo with a cross, actually. Yeah, it's a great attempt from Cecilio Waterman. Just using the pace on the ball, just about 5 yards inside the box, just moving towards the left post of the Ghanaian goal. It just almost like helps it on its way. Ideally, a little bit more height required. Forcing the goalkeeper into a good save.
Oldest squad of the tournament. Panama, average age of 30. No player under 24. Jose Cordoba of Norwich is their youngest out there. Played 30 games for the Canaries this season, finished 9th, disappointing in the end, but I think he's improved under Philippe Clement this season. He won a lot of his duels, over 50%, really high stats in that league. But it's Ghana in possession outside the penalty area. Achitai to the left side centre-back, Opoku. We didn't know which one was going to play on which side of the centre-back pairing. It's Opoku to the right-hand side. He's the one who plays out with Beşiktaş here in Turkey. It's a long ball looking for Semenya to chase down that left-hand side. And he couldn't get there, and it's out of play. So Semenya starts on the left, and Kalmadine Sulemana on the right-hand side, who had that such a bright start at Southampton. Had 3 seasons, that didn't quite work out for him in the end, but then Southampton were going through the doldrums, weren't they? We're seeing again that save. Good stop by the goalkeeper, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was a nice height for him, really, wasn't it? It was just about shoulder height. A little bit acrobatic, but nice sometimes for the goalkeepers to get a settler, if you like. Something not too difficult.
Right start by Panama. Here's Blackman, who gets across into the box. I think he was going for goal and deflected square. Yeah, he's the player who plays for Slovan Bratislava. He spent a fair few years now in Eastern Europe. A lot of these players have travelled around. Some play second division football. Not sure have been successful. Andres Andrade won the league and cup at Lance this season and comes across into the penalty area. Nearly came all the way through, and in the end there was a set-up ball on the edge of the box that didn't find its marker, and Ghana clear, and it's 0-0 on 5 Live with some 5 minutes played now.
Having the better of the ball so far, aren't they, Panama? Pretty much all the action that we've seen has been inside that Ghanaian half. You imagine that Carlos Queiroz has set up his troops to be able to deal with all sorts of scenarios if they have to contain that a little bit more, which probably would be the case against the other two in the group, wouldn't it? Hope it's going to happen too much tonight.
Martinez, one thing is evident, he's playing further forward than was advertised, and a long pump ball finds Lawrence Atizigi coming to rise in the air with Martinez, who's gone down holding his shoulder. He'll be okay. I think it means that Barcenas is playing a little bit deeper alongside Carlos Harvey in that central midfield pairing for Panama. They qualified very well for this, you know. They were unbeaten in their section, Panama coming through. They've suffered just 3 defeats in 19 games, but they cannot keep clean sheets. That is a major problem for them. Don't keep clean sheets, you don't go far in a World Cup.
No, you don't. I'm surprised actually that you're able to qualify so well if you're not able to keep the ball out your net too often. But we've seen sides already in this tournament who've qualified well, but they get to this stage and
That was Urinchi. Thought the ball was out of play. It wasn't. Ghana have it on the edge of the penalty area. Urinchi stayed out wide, and yeah, it was out.
Yeah, the whistle has finally gone. Panamanian defence not happy about that.
Yeah, we've seen one or two teams. I thought Paraguay would do a lot better than they did against the USA. I was very disappointed with them.
Ecuador, who qualified very well, got outplayed by the Ivory Coast as well. So it's no guarantee that you're going to perform well at the World Cup. There's so many more or different emotions, and level of expectation is increased for almost everybody once you reach this stage.
First ever meeting between Ghana and Panama. Ghana, their 5th World Cup appearance all this century. They've gone 10 World Cup matches now without a clean sheet. They've conceded at least 2 in their last 6. Doesn't sound good, that, does it? But I remember Panama in 2018. Wasn't at the game. I remember watching it when they were absolutely tanked by England. They struggle for goals at the moment. Only 11 goals in their last 7. And as I say, they haven't kept a clean sheet in 7. So with those defensive records, we might have goals. On the left-hand side for Panama, they've got a player called Jose Luis Rodriguez, who just tried to win it there. He's won a throw, and he plays in Mexico with Juarez, mid-table side this season, but he's had spells in Europe. And they've got a free kick here, as Cesar Blackman was fouled. And the free kick is given.
I think he was offside anyway. I'd have thought he was. The flag went up belatedly as he actually plays, throws the ball in, throw in, Cesar Blackman, and then he's not able to keep himself offside. He took a whack for his troubles, thought he was going to get a free kick. We've just seen a picture of legendary Asamoah Gyan, former Ghanaian striker.
What a good player he was. Played in World Cup 2010. Long ball forward for Ghana, but it was picked up by one of the Panamanian defenders and rolled square by Andres Andrade. And they play out neatly and tidily with a diagonal ball to the right-hand side. 0-0 it is on 5 Live. 8 minutes gone. There's the crossfield ball by Christian Martinez. Big swept crossfield ball 6 yards away, finds Cesar Blackman, who's got forward really well on this left-hand side. Thumbs up for him. Couldn't keep the ball in play, but they are playing here
with some freedom,
freedom and smiles.
Absolutely.
Great to see, isn't it? Absolutely great to see.
I don't think Carlos Queiroz will be overly concerned right now. As I said, he gets this tag as being quite a cautious and defensive coach. I don't think he particularly likes that, to be honest. I think he's just concerned about winning and losing and doing whatever it takes for his team to get across the line.
He joins, and he joins the charismatic Bora Milutinovic, having coached at 5 World Cup finals. Carlos Alberto Pereira is one ahead of the 2 of them. Remember I think it was Jeju in the Korean World Cup 2002, the island there we were staying with his team, and he was watching England, and England had a penalty shot. We watched them on telly in the players' room, and we of course go up, leaping up and down, saying it should have been an England penalty, and he was steadfast, saying no, the England player dived. I think it might have been Michael Owen, I can't remember, but we had words, and at the end of it we had big smiles, and he's a big old cuddly bear of a man, Bora Milutinovic. You might remember him. Here's a throw now for Ghana. Marvin Sanaya will take it, one of the Auxerre trio. And they're bright, and they're winning the first balls here, Panama.
Oh yes, I do remember Bora. He was coached Nigeria, of course, for a while in the late 90s. Well travelled is the term. Yeah,
he was a bit of a nomad, wasn't he? Here's Blackman. Back into his own half then. Andrade to the left-hand side of the centre-back trio. Then you got Jose Cordoba in the middle, and on the right-hand side is Giovanni Ramos. There is, once again, Andrade back to the goalkeeper, Orlando Mosquera.
So often we say in matches at any level, really, to be honest, JP, we talk about if you can control the middle of the park, then there's a better chance that you'll take control of the game. At some point you manage to create a lot of chances, but seen already in this World Cup that possession is not going to be the most important thing, especially for teams who are so far off from the top table. Just what you can do in the final third. So Senegal were great against France for a long period, weren't able to score first, and ultimately just got blown away with great firepower. Ghana, I think, have got the greater firepower today. Just got to be patient, and it seems they are right now. Not overly aggressive, trying to recover the ball, but Semenyo and Jordan Ayew see enough of it. They can take advantage.
Here's Jose Luis Rodriguez trying to take on his man, gets a good crossing again, looking for Waterman in the middle, creating danger between the goalkeeper and the edge of the 6-yard area, that old corridor of uncertainty, but it's whisked all the way through. But they were looking for big Cecilia Waterman in there again.
And they get a nice early ball into the box as well, Panama. Superb ball from Rodriguez into the box nice and early before the Ghanaian defence got set from this left wing once again.
And all the football, but here come Ghana now on the counter-attack. And they've got an opportunity to break at speed. It's a promising run by Nuama. He goes down, no free kick given. There was a glare at him as well, no smiles there. It was from Jose Cordoba. For Ernest Nuama, who went down.
No, that was a good challenge, nothing wrong with that at all. Cordoba was quick enough to go with him and just got his body across.
Be interesting to see how he goes on, Nuama. He's only played 34 minutes this season. He was out from April 25 through to early May with an ACL, and when he picked up that injury, he was playing really well for Lyon in a period when the club was in it with real doldrums. That last season they were threatened with relegation, and not so long beforehand had a terrible start to the campaign, and it was feared that they might even drop. And then he picked up the injury, big crowd favourite as well. He's got speed, he's playing on this right hand side at times, will drop into the 10. But it's Panama now in possession. They're winning a lot of the 50-50s now. They're brought out here by Giovanni Ramos, on loan at the moment from Independiente at Puerto Cabello, the club he plays for. Who were mid-table in the Apertura playoff phase. And back it goes then to Christian Martinez. Right foot, side foot ball, 5 yards behind him. It's swung long by Ramos out towards the left-hand side at 0-0. England winning earlier on, don't forget, beating Croatia by 4-2. Portugal were held by DR Congo 1-1, with Neves scoring for Portugal after just 6 minutes. But Johan Wissa with a terrific header 5 minutes into stoppage time at the end of the first half. Terrific header, terrible marking.
Two great headers in that game, the one from Neves as well, ghosting into the box, completely unchallenged.
Headed away at the back by Ghana's tall defender.
Love seeing the headed goals. Two of the best we've seen in the tournament so far, those two.
Ghana have possession. Left full back on that far side.
Harry Kane's wasn't bad earlier on either, was it, this evening?
No.
Straight from corner kick.
What's the referee done here? He's blown his whistle and then he's put palms up to the players as if to say he might have got something wrong. You see that Panama can be dangerous at set pieces as well, but at the other end we know that they can't defend particularly well, not at this moment in time anyway. Ghana out by this left hand, the right hand touch line I should say. The ball rolled back then by Nuama. Now they try and switch it left hand side. The ball swept out neatly by Opoku, stepping out from left back. Semenyo has possession on the left, not seen a lot of him at the moment. They're doubling up with him. Martinez has got that job on that left-hand side to double up with Murillo. In comes across from Ghana, and it's sort of fly-hacked away balletically by one of the central defenders. It was cleared away in the end by Andrade, and back it goes to the Ghanaian left-hand side. They've got Sanaya out there to combine with Semenyo at times, and here's a free kick for a challenge. A free kick for a challenge on one of the Panama players, and it's a yellow card for young Caleb Urinchi.
Yeah, that was a daft challenge. Ball was given away instead of just conceding and running back with the opponent. That was a little bit of a grab, not too much, but the referee was spot on, and first challenge or not, that was a yellow card. All of a sudden now he's got to play very, very smartly between now and half-time.
Fans' pressure has brought him into the side. They love him. He's a box-to-box player, is Urinchi. It's only his 12th international. He's 20. He's the youngest player out there today. He's a good season in Denmark. He's won most possession in the final third, and he's recovered most balls in the midfield area as well in the Danish league. They finished third, long way off top, mind you. He was in their best 11 in the league. Panama have possession, 10 yards inside their own half. The ball is rolled from one centre half to the other. Giovanni Ramos has it now.
Well, they had a spell of possession, didn't they, a few minutes ago with the Ghanaians. They kept it for about 7 or 8 passes. Put a few balls in the box, recovered it. It's the only time that they've looked semi-threatening. Nuama at the moment so far has looked the most dangerous, but he's got nice balance, hasn't he? A nice first touch. Left foot always looks a little bit more attractive, doesn't it?
Another dangerous cross in from Rodriguez.
Early crosses as well, aren't they, from Rodriguez?
He looks a menace, doesn't he?
Yeah. And before the opposition are able to get set defensively, he's already whipping that ball in and just causing a little bit of panic in the Ghanaian back line.
Joining with Efe Akoko once again, Nigerian international back in the day. They played at lots of clubs that you support out there, Bournemouth and Norwich in their Hall of Fame, I seem to think, Wimbledon. Who else? Sheffield Wednesday, Brentford. You started at Sutton, didn't you? Did you not start at Sutton?
Not Brentford, no, just to set the record. So I just registered to actually train with them because the training ground was about 10 minutes from my old home. So I knew Wally Downs and Gary Thompson was there as well. So they just asked me to come down and train. So
Switzerland, you had to spell in Switzerland?
And the Grasshoppers, with Roy Hodgson. That was a nice little time out there.
Much travelled. A little bit of a nomad yourself.
I knew you were going to say that.
It's Panama in possession.
Yeah.
Angle ball out towards the left-hand touchline, halfway inside the Ghanaian half. And it's cleared away to the halfway line again. But every time the ball comes up to the halfway line, a man in red picks it up. Panama ranked by FIFA well below Ghana, actually. They're 29th, I think they are. Well, having said that, I got it completely wrong. Ghana down at
74th, 73rd, 74th, something like the Ghanaians, which is that's low for them, is it? At the moment, it's a very much a Carlos Queiroz coach side, isn't it? He's only had 65 or so days to prepare this team. As you said, this is his biggest challenge to date.
As Evan was saying, a win is paramount for these because you can't see either of them picking up 3-4 points against the other two teams.
I'd be very surprised.
And people are saying that 3 points might be enough to get you through as one of the best third-place teams, but with a goal difference of no worse than -1, you will see teams with 3 points going out.
It's worth taking a risk, isn't it? This evening, you would imagine for both these two nations, you know what, let's really go for it. Especially if you're Ghana, you feel as if you've got more firepower, but it's got to be that ambition to try and win the game. Hoping to contain and then steal thing later on in the matches. Perhaps not ideal, but as I said before we kicked off tonight, JP, this is not a vintage Ghanaian group of players. There's not a handful that you could say are absolutely amongst the best in Africa right now. So many apart. It's quite an ordinary lineup.
A lot will depend on him, but he's only scored 1 goal in his last 27 internationals. Came against Chad last year. Ghana pushing down the right-hand side here with Nuama. Come to a wider position. He's wearing a protective bandage on his left wrist, but he's still not moving as fluently as he did in his early Lyon days. Semenya was wide on that left-hand touchline moments ago. He's come into the middle now. He's on the edge of the penalty and comes across looking for him. It's headed away gently by Ramos. And out towards the left-hand touch, and Ghana will have a throw in. We've been playing on 5 Live now some 20 minutes or so. It's 0-0. We're seeing pictures in the stadium of a rain-splattered Carlos Queiroz. Used to do a lot of interviews on the BBC when Sir Alex wasn't talking to us. Who could blame him, really? And so I got to know Carlos quite well in those days. And lovely that we were able to talk to Sir Alex in the end before he retired. And it was always very good to me, I have to say. You had to know how to treat Sir Alex when you were interviewing him, you know.
So I heard, yeah.
Yeah, just you had to be a bit careful, but then he didn't suffer fools gladly, and I don't think he suffered players who were fools gladly either. Here's Ghana in possession. Kalabi Rinchi to his central midfield partner Elisha Owusu, held up by Ayew, tucked back then to Ajitai. And that's a good balloon ball out towards the left-hand touchline to Sulemana. Sulemana, a little bit of a step over, won't count because he was offside.
Shouldn't have been. It's a nice crossfield pass. You can see right across that Panamanian defensive line. Yeah, we're just seeing the replay here. He's a good yard, maybe even 2 offside. Poor decision making at Thomas Christensen, making sure that the officials are aware of that. Flag didn't go up quickly enough for his liking.
A lot of goals in this World Cup, Evan. 70 goals we've seen so far.
Santiago Solari, former Real Madrid player, Argentinian. On the screen here, didn't see who was next to him, had his head bowed.
And we're playing out from the goalkeeper Orlando Mosquera. Little spell in Israel with Maccabi Tel Aviv. Played in Turkey as well. He's now at Al Fayha in Saudi, where they finished 10th.
I think Ghana can afford to have controlled aggression when they manage to get most of their plays, if not everybody, inside that Panamanian half. It's happened once or twice. That's the time to be aggressive and try and win the ball back if you decide you're not going to do it when the ball is around about the halfway line, just a few yards inside your own half. So they have done that on occasion, but in truth they've not recovered the ball anywhere near quickly enough. And once again now everybody is back inside the Ghanaian half. Certainly all the Ghanaian players.
22 minutes gone, approaching the halfway mark in the first half, and the rehydration break, even though it's rainy, even though it's relatively cool
Tonight.
They have explained that. They said that it's a tournament where we can't just have the rehydration break for some teams and not the others. It's what they do with the hydration break now globally, and where it goes, I think, is the worry.
Yeah, it's a worrying sign, isn't it, moving forward? And why does it have to be 3 minutes? I think you can get enough fluids down in about 90 seconds.
Well, I can get lots of fluids down in 90 seconds.
I'm sure you can.
Don't worry about that. But I was having a discussion with an American supporter, and he was saying it's great to see the game is now in 4 quarters. And I said it isn't. It isn't. It might do if this carries on, but it isn't yet. And here we go, the hydration break. Just after Ayo got a clump on the head and turns to the referee and asks Glenn Nyberg why he didn't get the free kick. Listen to the reaction here.
Yeah,
booze. Booze.
Yeah, not for the first time.
Booze for the hydration break.
Yeah, the public can't be fooled, can they? But it is what it is for this tournament. We'll see whether that's continued in 4 years' time, when you can imagine it'll be quite warm in Europe as well, and in Spain, Portugal, Morocco, a couple of games in Uruguay as well. Is there one in Argentina as well? One or two in Argentina?
Definitely in Uruguay.
Uruguay, the first one, yeah. To celebrate the anniversary. 100 years of this fantastic tournament.
Carlos Queiroz is talking to his players. This is what I think a lot of fans don't like about the hydration break. They've stopped the goalkeepers feigning injury in inverted commas at the end of the game in the last 10 minutes to prevent the teams having tactical talk-ins by their coach, because this is where it's happening. It's happening midway through each half, and it is definitely having an effect on the game.
If it's just a hydration break, and then what you could say is you have one designated member of staff who brings the drinks onto the field, and all the players stay around the centre circle. Just seen a replay again, the early chance, the only one really, Cecilia Waterman, just helping the ball on with pace from that right side. Nice pass from Michael Murillo, cross, hit with pace. Nice sight for the goalkeeper to push it away to safety.
Effort that was applauded by the coach of Panama, Thomas Christensen, who was a striker in his day. I remember he was at Barcelona as a kid. He played a couple of games. He won a Super Cup with them, I think, European Super Cup, but didn't really work out for him. He had a very good spell as a striker at Bochum. And he's been a coach at Leeds United, of course, between July of 17 and February of 18. He was sacked with the club 7 points off the playoffs. We're seeing fans being drenched. We're seeing umbrellas, and we're seeing players having a hydration break. It doesn't really make sense at all, does it? But we know what it's all about, which is a shame. I mean, people have said, why don't they do like they do at cricket? You know, as you said, get someone out.
Bring the drinks onto the field, yeah.
And if they don't want to go together in the centre circle, put one team in the D on the edge of the penalty area, and the other team way down the far side of the box of the pitch in the other D. And stop the managers getting involved at all. There's ways around it, aren't there? Not rocket science, is it?
Quite straightforward. Have you ever met a rocket scientist, by the way?
In school, in my primary school at Elmley in Bristol, where Gary Mabbitt and Kevin Mabbitt went to school, we had a boy called Timmy Eglinton, and his dad worked at NASA. So I must have met him.
As a rocket scientist or janitor or something? Just asking, but you know.
I don't know, but he used to bring back moonshot rulers for us and pencils and stuff like that and give it out. So he became a superstar at school.
At school.
Yeah.
And he said a rocket science obviously wasn't hard at all.
Yeah, I haven't.
Not like being a doctor.
It's a long time since I was at that primary school. Goodness me, it's how long is it? It's 54 years. So I haven't seen him in the ensuing years. I hope he's okay. And anyway, it's Panama in possession, deep inside their own half, 0-0 on 5 Live. Hope you're enjoying the late night games in the UK. They're coming thick and fast, aren't they? Stay with us on 5 Live as well. Colombia against World Cup debutants Uzbekistan from 3 o'clock. You can also watch it live on BBC One and BBC iPlayer, giving the option to sync up the radio commentary from 5 Live with your TV. That's always good fun. Ghana have possession. They're halfway inside the Panama half, and the ball is switched to the right-hand touchline. It's headed down by Sinai, who got forward well on this right-hand side. And now back it goes then to Jerome Opoku. He's had a decent season with Besiktas. He started at Fulham. He's a Lambeth boy. He's a South London boy. And that's a foul. There's a little push came in on Cesar Blackman in front of the Swedish assistant referee.
All a little bit scrappy from Ghana, even when they're actually in possession. Have a couple of players in the middle of the park who can just settle things down, have some, or engage a little bit of control passing between themselves, trying to overload one side of the pitch before they then switch the ball over to Semenyo one side or indeed the other side of the field and bring Nuama, who's shown 1 or 2 lively touches so far.
We've been playing 28 minutes. It's goalless. And Panama have possession away towards the right-hand touchline. They've used the ball decently. Perhaps they haven't got Murillo in as high as they would want to on the right-hand side from wing-back.
They're more controlled on the ball, that's for sure. I'd like to see Carlos Queiroz just perhaps give one of the wider players a little bit of license not to do so much defensive work. Allow Jordan Ayew to stay inside the Panamanian half. Use him as the target man. He's also very good at actually backing into people and controlling the ball, bringing his teammates into play. He's always been pretty good at that, Ayew.
Well, they're ambitious, more ambitious than they were in 2018. Aims at round of 32, at least round of 32, of course, in this competition. Right, well, I'll get there as one of the best third-place sides. The winners of this group play one of the third-place teams in Atlanta on July the 1st, then possibly Mexico in Mexico City on the 16th of July. The runners-up will play the runners-up in Group L. That's the Portugal, Group K, I should say, the Portugal, Colombia, Congo, Uzbekistan group. Then possibly Norway, France or Argentina in the 16. So you don't want that. Winning the group is important. There's a bump challenge there by Blackman on the edge of the penalty area to stop the forward progress of Gideon Mensah. Couldn't get in there. Mensah's come back to the right-hand side. He'd switched momentarily with Semenyo. He's back here pressurising.
Did well, Yorenchi. Battled and battled. Looks like he'd actually lost the ball in the middle of the park. In the end, he drew the foul. The referee belatedly gave him the free kick.
Yeah, free kick here then. Good pressure it was by Yorenchi. And he's gone down under a hefty old challenge from Carlos Harvey, who's a decent unit in there, 6 foot tall. And he's from Minnesota United in the Western Division of the MSL. MLS, what is it, MLS? MSL, I always get it wrong. It's a free kick.
MLS.
MLS, that's it. Which is growing bigger and bigger and bigger. Free kick here for Ghana. Opoku's up from the back. Tall man at 6'5". He's the boy from Lambeth. In comes the cross from Ayew. It's headed away, not too far away. Pressure is still on Panama. Ayew just tucks it back into the centre circle where it's worked out towards the left-hand side.
Good pressure. Christian Martinez.
Mensah under pressure there. Misplaced his pass.
Raced out from the middle of the park, didn't he? Shut that ball down, forced Ghana to play the ball out for a throw-in. So when they pressurise the ball, the Panamanians, they've done it with real purpose.
He was at World Cup 22, Gideon Mensah. He played just 3 minutes against South Korea. He was a regular in qualifying. He missed just the one, but he lost his place in the March friendlies for Ghana when it all went wrong for them, really. They'd already lost to Japan and South Korea in the autumn, and then they were beaten 5-1 by Austria in late March, and then Germany 3-0. Hammered, weren't they? Got that 1-1 draw with Wales just before this. Only a couple of changes from that game, really.
Yeah, I still think that Otto Addo will feel particularly aggrieved. Using those games, perhaps experimenting with players and trying to work out a few new things in preparation for this game. When you've qualified so well, expect that you'll have a little bit of money in the bank, if you like, but it wasn't given the opportunity.
Carlos Queiroz, is their 25th managerial change this century.
It's ridiculous, really. I mean, hoping for continuity, and that's certainly going to happen if you keep hiring and firing and bringing people in every time you don't qualify for AFCON, which they missed out on, of course, last time round. So that played into their minds as well.
AFCON champions on 4 occasions, the last time back in '82.
It's been a while. It's a long time for Ghana.
Lots of people interested in the job. Slaven Bilic, apparently, Hervé Renard was apparently interested in the job.
Oh, he just got the Tunisia job, isn't it, Hervé Renard?
Yeah, that was after a sacking after the first game in a World Cup final.
Sabine Lamouchi sacked.
Former Nottingham Forest manager, Lamouchi, gone.
If you give him 2 more weeks, JP, Hervé Renard will be after your job.
Well, there you are. Not too sure he could afford to
turn it down.
Oh, it's a lovely ball forward. Is that a penalty? It's a great run forward into the penalty area by Christian Martinez, and there was a coming together. He went down.
Looked like a nudge.
Glenn Nyberg's having none of it, the referee. And Mensah tries to bring it out for Ghana. He's overrun it. Martinez, great work record. He's got back there to win it back for Panama.
His work rate is fantastic, isn't it? Tackling, getting into the box.
Good pace about them. Cesar Blackman on this left-hand side. Jinks to take on his defender. It was a dummy. Pulls it back. In comes a cross into the penalty. Out comes Lawrence Atizigi. Good ball in.
What a great cross.
Good punch as well. He's hurt. And one of his defenders is hurt. Jerome Opoku is hurt as well as he came to punch the ball away. Needed to come.
It was a difficult angle, actually, for Cesar Blackman to cross the ball from the left. He just shifted his body, opened it out just to widen the angle. It was actually Andrade who crossed the ball in an unfamiliar position. Great delivery, just seeing a... No, that's not a penalty. Opoku comes across well, just leans into him a little bit. And to be fair to him, Christian Martinez, he didn't make too much of it. Of course, he would have taken it, but I think he just accepts that was body-to-body contact, and the officials have got that one right.
No penalty given. And Poku's going to be okay. He's up. Didn't get a chance at Fulham. He was there for 13 years. From a youngster, he went out on loan to Accrington. Plymouth fans, you might remember he was with you for a little while on loan. Star of the game at the moment for me, FN, is Christian Martinez of Panama.
All action, isn't he? Yeah, it's that little friendly chat with the referee. Wondering why he never got the penalty. The referee pointed to his shoulder. Wasn't quite shoulder on shoulder, but certainly not much of a nudge from behind. Not worthy of a penalty anyway.
And Nyberg, the referee, you might remember him from Euro 24. He took 3 games. He took the French round of 16 victory over Belgium. 3 games. We're seeing this replay again on the TV. No chance it was going to be a penalty, but Glenn Nyberg is more famous. You remember the Arsenal-Bayern game back in April 24 when balls rolled to Gabriel and he picked it up, and it was rolled out to him from the goalkeeper, and he picked it up and spotted it up for a goal kick to be taken again.
Yeah.
The ball was live. It should have been a penalty kick.
Yeah.
And the referee said, no, hang on, no, you're okay, go on.
It's a lucky boy, because Tyrone Mings got penalised for that, didn't he? Is that in a European game as well?
might well have been. The refereeing has been pretty good in these World Cup finals. There was the hiatus in that first game, the opening match that I was lucky enough to do, Mexico against South Africa.
The 3 red cards.
Yeah. One of them was crazy, the Mexican one, I thought.
2 of them were ridiculous.
Yeah.
Only one was a proper red, I thought, with the boy going through. Can't remember who it was now. Got fouled on the edge of the box. We do always get, we very often get a couple of those, don't we, in the opening games of the tournament. I think the referees tend to settle down, let's put it that way.
Which they have. That's a lovely ball from Panama. Playing all the football here, driven out to the right-hand side. 9 minutes left in the half. In it comes then towards Barcenas. Back out wide to the right touchline. Martinez between the box and the far left-hand touchline. Curls in a lovely cross, and once again Lawrence Atisigi comes aggressively, punches away. It's a chance from the follow-up, and driven over. And at the moment it's Panama who are the stronger side. That's decent goalkeeper again, Atisigi. He had to come and get it, and big punch away.
He had to be brave, didn't he, once again, Ziggy? Another superb ball in from the right, this time from Christian Martinez. Who else on the follow-up as the ball just lands on the edge of the box on the half volley? Not an easy one to take, especially for a defender, Giovanni Ramos. Just a little bit off balance, cuts across the football, and goes high and wide. Very much the better side at the moment, the Panamanians.
Coming to the team this season, really, Giovanni Ramos. He only played a couple of games in the qualifying, but he's played 7 matches now in this current football season. I think we're still in the 25-26 season, aren't we? He scored against South Africa and against Bosnia in friendly matches. Here's Rodriguez, talented player, out wide to Cesar Blackman. He's full of tricks and flicks, is Jose Luis Rodriguez. Those spells in Europe at Ghent and Alaves, didn't make it at Sporting Gijón. He was there on loan as well. I think he was at Red Star as well for a little while before going to Mexico. Juarez. 0-0 on 5 Live. There's so much football to come. Second round of group stage matches begins on Thursday afternoon. Czech Republic against South Africa from 5. Then you've got Switzerland, Bosnia at 8. Canada, Qatar at 11. Mexico, South Korea gets underway tomorrow morning at 2 a.m. Scotland's next match Friday evening against Morocco. Kick-off at 11 o'clock. And all the games available throughout the World Cup on 5 Live and BBC Sounds, BBC TV as well. And I thoroughly recommend the shorts on the website. It's some fantastic stuff. They're really good fun stuff. Ball into the Ghanaian penalty area, and Lawrence Atisigi came again aggressively, punched it away, ball back into the middle, dealt with Biopoku's header down, and Panama pick it up with Carlos Harvey with the big hair out wide towards the right hand side with the blonde tinted hair. It's all action Christian Martinez. In comes his low cross, and it's met, brought under control and cleared away by big burly Elisha Owusu to the halfway line. We've not seen a lot of Jordan Ayew in his record-breaking 121st appearance for his country, but there is a throw in now, and Lawrence Atisigi, bit of a hero at the moment for Ghana. Effen.
Very busy man, the goalkeeper. Yeah, dangerous on both sides of the pitch, aren't they, the Panamanians? This time Michael Murillo is looking to steal into the box, just coming in from the angle on the right side. Goalkeeper comes out and throw from the edge of the box on left side. Perhaps should have actually gathered that ball instead of punching it away, so it wasn't into a safe area.
Atisigi played in all 3 games in Qatar. They were beaten in the opener 3-2 by Portugal. A little bit unlucky there. And they beat South Korea 3-2, and then Uruguay sent them home with a 2-0 victory.
It's a non-performance so far from Ghana. Very disappointing if you are a Black Star fan.
Long time ago, Pele, remember, predicting that an African side would win the World Cup by the late 90s.
2000, he said.
Yeah.
Yes.
It hasn't happened.
Still waiting for a side to look as if they have the quality, not just in terms of what they can actually do with the ball. I'm talking about, you know, the number of players and the depth. You need a squad of, in your nation, 26, maybe even 30 top-class players to be able to give yourself a real chance of doing something serious at this level. Senegal perhaps the closest at the moment, and they got They got outgunned by the French, didn't they, a few days ago. In the end, it was a demonstration of footballing power.
Got to win 8 games or play 8 games now in the World Cup if you're going to go on and win it one more in such a short period of time relatively. That's why strength and depth is hugely important. England made good substitutes today. France were improved by their manager at half-time against such strength they've got.
Yeah, the number of players that you bring to the tournament, and then you need to be talking about at least 4 or 5 players that could quite easily be in the squad, and it would not make that group of players weaker. Certainly England have that, the French have that, Spain to a certain degree as well. Germany are looking on a nice run at the moment, sort of quietly sneaking under the radar, which you would never have said, would you, 30 years ago, the Germans under the radar at the World Cup.
I think I've done the last 3 World Cups, the games where they've actually gone out, Germany. It's Schadenfreude about that. We've got Ati Ziggy down at the moment.
He's been the busiest man on the pitch tonight.
That's heavy rain. Can't see it from where we are, but as the replay shows in slow motion, big droplets of rain. Hefty fall from Ati Ziggy as he came, climbed up above, halving one of his centre backs. Grimacing.
Yeah, landed awkwardly, didn't he? As I said, he's had a lot to do. His opposite number, Orlando Mosquera, has been not largely redundant, but absolutely nothing for him work-wise.
We had a lot of football in Europe as Lawrence Latizigi with St Gallen at the moment. He joined them from Sochaux in January 2020, won the league with Salzburg. Before that, having played for the Red Bull Ghana Academy in his homeland. At the moment, Ghana can't get Antoine Semenyo into the game at all. He's chasing down here on the back pass, sort of a forlorn chase. But they've got talented players, Ernie Nuama, Kamaldeen Sulemana.
3 most dangerous up front for sure. If Ayew gets the service, and he's certainly shown what he can do in the Ghanaian shirt. And Semenyo, we know all about him, and unfortunately, Nuama, who was bright in the first 15 or so minutes, has been kept pretty quiet since then.
Carlos Harvey for Panama, good challenge on him, releases the ball just outside the Ghanaian penalty area. Barcenas followed up, still the pressure is on the African side. It's won back there by young Urinci and cleared up to Jordan Ayew, who's fouled. Referee might have given it for that, or he might have actually given it for the early one. There was a foul on Nuama as well, or a challenge on him, but it's a free kick anyway to Ghana, and we're into the last minute of the first half. There will be some stoppage time any moment now.
The longer the game goes like this, JP, the more that you feel that Panama have to create the real golden chance and score the first goal. The weaker side on paper, I think, needs to get that validation for all their good work and get some kind of reward. So far, they've worked the goalkeeper quite often, not created a real goal-scoring opportunity. Just get that sense that Ghana will create something, perhaps early on in the second half, and somebody will take the chance to steal it.
Like Semenyo here. Semenyo feeds into the edge of the penalty area, right-hand side. Can they get across him from Nuama? Pulls it back. Opportunity to get a shot away or a decent ball in from Marvin Salaya, the right back. And he's screwed it out wide for a goal kick. That was the first moment of promise we've really seen from Ghana, and Semenyo was at the heart of it.
Yeah, so nice snatched at that. Just needed to take another touch just outside the box. Controlled it and try and actually set in that Antoine Semenyo. A little bit of luck, actually, the way the ball gets through to Antoine Semenyo from his goalkeeper. One touch and it bounced over everybody in the halfway line, but once again not making enough of that opportunity. I'll go back to what I said 25 or so minutes ago. I thought that whoever's got the greater firepower perhaps take control of this game, but a little bit of a caveat on that. Unless you get control of the midfield, it appears for Ghana that they're not going to be able to get the service for the front three. So some decisions to be made at half-time for Carlos Queiroz. Do I stick with this game plan, or, like I said, give the boys a little bit more freedom up front and gamble, almost going man-to-man in the middle of the park, and say we've got a front three that perhaps is better than yours. Let's see how that works. Well, the feeling is that he won't, not for 20 or so minutes into the second half.
They're certainly struggling in there, aren't they, with Urinci and Owusu being outnumbered.
Hustled as well.
It's a foul on Ayew. He may not be a spectacular goal scorer and get enough goals at club level at the moment. What did he get? Just the 6 in all for Leicester. Yeah. We were relegated for a second successive season, but you can never criticise him for a lack of effort. And He was praised for that in his Crystal Palace days as well.
No, he's a real worker, Jordan Ayew.
Ghana have possession. 0-0.
Selfish, as I said, I always think he plays better with his back to goal. He's got two capable wide men.
Only Nuama, one of those players who can play out wide, of course, has just given away possession. He's chasing back into his own half, and the ball is actually just nudged to him by Marvin Sanaya, the right back, and brought under control by Jonas Adjete. And he finds his goalkeeper in bright light blue with sort of pink tinted gloves and boots, very colourful goalkeeping garb. Once upon a time, ladies and gentlemen, goalkeepers at international level wore yellow, and that was it. And the only goalkeepers who wore yellow, were allowed to wear yellow, were international goalkeepers in the international games.
Yellow only?
Yellow only, yeah, for a long, long time. And I remember that because when we used to play Subbuteo as kids and someone would have a yellow-clad goalkeeper, we used to say, no, you can't. No, it's not an international game, it's just a domestic Subbuteo match between Bristol City and Leeds, and Bristol City invariably won those games.
Of course. Fantasy football here.
Future European champions. It's Ghana in possession, and it's Ayew turning and spinning the ball out wide to Nuama. Now they've got a chance here, Ghana, between the box and the right-hand touchline. Can they get some sort of a crossing, battling away as Owusu, who's got to the net ball, and I think he carried it out.
Yeah.
It's a goal kick. A little bit of brightness at the end of a rather drab first half for them. We're approaching 3 minutes of the 5 given for stoppage time. Don't forget, England's second test against New Zealand got underway at Trent Bridge yesterday. New Zealand closing on 291 for 7. Not a bad first day that for England. You can hear day 2 on Sports Extra and BBC Sounds from 11 o'clock with the test match special team. You can join Rick Edwards and Lloyd Griffith on Football Daily every morning from the USA, getting you close to the biggest talking points of the competition. Insight from both camps, England and Scotland as well. And day 3 of Royal Ascot Thursday afternoon on FM 2 o'clock on Sports Extra 2. Once tried to go to Royal Ascot Effin and they wouldn't let me in. They just wouldn't let. They took one look at me, and I've never been back since. Funny enough. You got no chance, son, said the man on the door.
Should have gone with that rocket scientist there.
That's true. It's Ghana with a throw on that left-hand side. Well past the witching hour UK time.
Problem Carlos Queiroz has is that he doesn't have either those two wide players, either Semenyo or Nuama, who can actually play in a more traditional four. It's not their role at all. It's not the way the team is set up. Will he sacrifice one of those two? Perhaps Nuama, who's not seen much game time, maybe struggling for match fitness. Semenyo is, you imagine, is undroppable in this team as he wins a foul.
On the left-hand touchline, and he's turned around and had a word at the referee. Wants a little bit more protection. First they caught him, walked away. Part smile, part grimace. He knew he got it wrong. He was trying to hustle, trying to harry, and in the end, a little bit of contact. Not a huge amount of contact.
No, there wasn't much in that. So many felt it was a little bit more nasty. And replay didn't suggest it was. And this is a good opportunity for Ghana. Jordan Ayew's got to get great delivery. This is one of the last opportunities before half-time whistle goes. Right on the touchline, on the left side, swinging that ball in, just arcing towards the left-hand post of Orlando Mosquera.
We've had the 5 minutes of designated stoppage time. Now playing time added on at the discretion of the referee. Ayew with the free kick for Ghana. One last big chance. Glanced down and cleared away by Harvey. Not yet away. Secondary chip towards the far post. Sails too long from Owusu. Out of play for a goal kick, and that'll be it. The referee lifts his hand in the air, blows his whistle, and brings an end to a first half. And what do you make of that first half, Because we had a couple of chances only, really, and both of them fell to Panama. Waterman very early on had one saved and Ramos over. Ghana have not had an effort.
Yeah, it's been mainly Panama. They've been the brighter side, the more coordinated, certainly the more determined and aggressive in the middle of the park. Christian Martinez in particular, he's been the all-action man, giving us most of the good quality work. Nice early cross into the box. The Ghanaian goalkeeper Ziggy has had a lot to do, taking a few bumps and bruises, managed to keep a clean sheet. That will please him, but going forward and in terms of ball retention in the middle of the park, this is as ordinary a Ghana side as I've seen for many a year. Something has got to change if they're going to threaten this Panamanian back line in the second half.
Well, throughout my career, I've never really abided by rules and what you should do and what you're told to do. Everyone knows that about me. And there's a wonderfully anarchic programme on 5 Live in midweeks. It's freestyle. It just does what it wants to do. And the presenter right now is Dr. Narabayev. Well, I thought we were going to Tottenham, but he's not there.
Well, no, he's here.
He's here.
He's here. Well, where did you think I was?
I don't know. I thought there was an echo chamber. I thought I disappeared into the ether there, Doctor. Dalton.
When you said anarchic, all I could think of was anarchic in the UK. It's coming. Yeah.
I listen when I'm driving back from games and you come on. You just make me laugh all the way through. You've got a great relationship with all the, your team of listeners that phone you up and everyone seems to know each other. It's a great sort of family feel to the programme, but it's freestyle radio, which I've always loved, as you know.
I genuinely appreciate that.
He is flexible in certain ways, but his formation stands out certainly in an English football context, against most of the rest of the league, and so that will always be the thing that people focus on.
I'm with Critcher. I'm just absolutely fascinated to see how this goes. Do you think it will be a success? Jury's out.
It's really hard to say. It's really hard to say because he's adapting to a new league and a new style of football as well. And will his style of football impose itself on Serie A, or will Serie A impose itself on him? I don't know, but I just keep coming back to the state of flux that Milan are in generally. They have a lot of work left to do, unless Amorim also.
Jury's out.
It's really hard to say. It's really hard to say because he's adapting to a new league and a new style of football as well. And will his style of football impose itself on Serie A, or will Serie A impose itself on him? I don't know, but I just keep coming back to the state of flux that Milan are in generally. They have a lot of work left to do, unless Amorim also wants to be a chief exec as well as a manager. Maybe he wants to do everything.
It would make things easier at United. I'm sure you'd probably still be in a job now if that had happened.
So, it feels like they have a lot of big picture questions to answer, and he's only part of that. But he didn't have the kind of success he had at Sporting for nothing. He's clearly got talent if he works the way he wants to work. But this is a very different context again.
I can't remember what his quotes were when he joined United, but his quotes at joining AC Milan were, "This is my lifelong ambition."
Didn't mention that when he joined United, actually.
No, did he not?
I'm quite happy for this job, but I really would like to manage AC Milan, actually. No, he didn't mention that.
Down the line, 14 months' time.
Of course.
Okay, time now for our Do You Know Your Daily Trivia on day 7. Okay, so today's question is then, do you know who has received the most yellow cards in World Cup history with 7?
Pepe.
No, but he's up there.
Oh.
Good guess.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the most obviously dirty player because it could just be an accumulation of World Cups, couldn't it? Just more games.
Of course, but I'm just thinking of the dirtiest player possible, so I went for
Yeah,
Pepe.
think accumulation. Mm-hmm.
Oh, think accumulation. So it's just who's played loads of games?
Well, no, not necessarily, but I'm just saying it's over World Cups.
Like the only name I've got in my head is a completely wrong answer, Gary Lineker, because he never got a yellow card in his career, and I don't know. That's so that's how useful my brain is this
If you
morning.
can't be close, go in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So here's a wrong answer for you.
I'll guess someone like Carlos Puyol because I think he played a few World Cups.
No. Any more guesses?
Do we get multiple choice? Because we got that from Adam yesterday.
Okay, I'll give you. Well, you've said one of the multiple choice options in Pepe, so go you. So it's between Javier Mascherano and Sergio Ramos.
Oh, come on.
Ramos I was between Ramos and Puyol. Ramos almost feels too obvious.
I'm going Ramos.
Yeah.
Too obvious, guys. Mascherano.
Oh.
2 in 2006, 2 in 2010, only the 1 in 2014, and then 2 in 2018.
Okay.
I think I did well getting Pepe for the... Come on. I'm taking that.
That was, I thought that was a strong opening gambit, and then Lineker kind of undid a lot of
Yeah,
momentum.
he kind of went downhill from there, to be honest with you. Right, now, finally, England get their tournament underway later on today, taking on Croatia. So ahead of the game let's get the thoughts of the Athletics England correspondent, Jack Pickbrook, who was at Thomas Tuchel's pre-game press conference.
I'm here outside the Dallas Stadium, or as some locals call it, the Death Star, where we've just had the pre-match press conferences, first from Harry Kane and Thomas Tuchel, and then from Zlatko Dalic and
Ecuador 1-0 in Philadelphia in Group E. Manchester United's Amad Diallo with the 90th minute goal to send their fans wild, and they join Germany on 3 points after one game. It is Germany, of course, who topped the group with much better goal difference courtesy of their 7-1 victory earlier against Curacao. So they're in number 1 position, Ivory Coast second, and then Ecuador and Curacao both on 0 points so far there in Group E. For more, let's chat to our African football correspondent, Mbizo Zamani, who joins us again. And Mbizo, great to see you. In the end, as we said, it was just that little bit of quality from Amad Diallo and Ivory Coast that was the difference between these two sides. What did you see when you watched the game?
Yeah, absolutely, but not just him. I think when you look at the difference in the benches, I mean, these are two teams, for me, who are equal, especially in the starting lineup during the course of the game. It was like a heavyweight boxing match. At one time, one team was in the ascendancy, and then shortly after, it was the other. And so it was a delightful watch because, I mean, these were two teams that could really go at each other, who have top quality players across the board. Ivory Coast has this habit of being a little bit, engaging a little self-sabotage. And there was a lot of mistakes that they made, unprompted, unforced, that gave, I think, Ecuador a lot of their opportunities, which they went on and squandered. But again, Ivory Coast had some of their opportunities as well. And so it was a wonderful game to watch. But I think the difference in the quality of the benches and the players that could come off the bench and make a difference in the game was huge. And again, I think while Ecuador will feel themselves hard done by, I think they missed out on their chances, and Ivory Coast was able to bury theirs.
And Mbizo, it's always great to see you. Let's take a look at some of the player ratings when it comes to the lineups and how this really shaped out, because it was a competitive game. But as Adam pointed out, there was some interesting team selections here. Me and Michael have been going back and forth about Cote d'Ivoire and their starting 11, not having Amad Diallo a part of that starting 11. Why do you think that was? Obviously strong players to have coming off the bench, but why do you think the decision was made to leave Diallo, Borni, Zangare obviously on the bench? Kusunu came on in the closing stages, and your overall thoughts on the 11 that was picked?
I'll start with the last question there. I think that the overall 11 for me was actually quite good, minus Pepe. I thought Nicolas Pepe had a poor performance. I thought he missed out on a number of shooting opportunities, which he could have done better. And he also didn't quite find some key passes that I think would have been critical for Ivory Coast in the first half. And as a result, they seemed to lack in their creativity. So for me, the player that I wouldn't have started with, the only player that I think was probably the wrong decision, was Pepe, and I thought he should have come off a lot earlier. To leave out Amad Diallo, I'm not sure if that was the correct decision. It turned out okay, but for me, you should be having Yan Diomande on one side and Amad Diallo on the other, and what you do elsewhere, I think is almost tantamount to irrelevant. But the two sentiments for me are spectacular. I mean, you can't really do better than those two tanks in the middle of the field who can go both ways, defensively and offensively. Great eye for a pass, but can also win the ball back. The only issue with them was their discipline. The fact that they were on 2 yellow cards so early, they were trying, genuinely to be, deliberately rather is the word I'm looking for, to be hardcore on that Ecuadorian midfield, on Ener Valencia, to try to put them off of their game. And I think it works to a certain degree, but then the risk was the yellow cards, and I think that held them back for being harder in the midfield for the entirety of the game, which also gave Ecuador some of their opportunities. But otherwise, I thought it was good decisions, wonderful decisions off the bench to change the game. So for me, I'm satisfied with the Ivorian performance here. Perhaps, like you guys said, a little bit more clinical in the final third. That's probably the only thing that lacked, but not the personnel.
Mbizo, we have to talk about the elephant or les elephants in the room in Yan Diomande. He was cooking today. And if you're Pierre Nkapie, if he comes to the Premier League, you're going to be chasing shadows. He absolutely burned him. You were texting me throughout the show. I couldn't pick up my phone, but now I can. I can show the entire world what Mbizo is texting me. What did you make of his performance? Because we were talking about it. There's a sense of the price tag just went up if you're Liverpool or even PSG.
Yeah. The price tag went up on every touch, didn't it? Every time he got the ball. I mean, this is a player that looks like he's absolutely total control of his opponent. He does what he wants when he feels like. He can come into the inside. He can go out wide. He can cross. He can shoot. He can dribble. He's strong. He's quick. He's smart. I mean, what doesn't he have? I mean, perhaps the only weakness, maybe actually, is the finishing. But the way he creates chances, the way he glides by his opponents. I mean, I don't know if Ngapié is going to sleep ever again. And unfortunately for him, after he had to chase Yan Diomande all game, Yan Diomande then went to the other side, and then Amad Diallo is the one that he had to then play against on his side. So I feel badly for Ngapié because he is a player that I like, that I admire. But they cooked him tonight. I mean, it was a proper Ivorian dish of acheke on a plate, and it was delightful to consume.
37 touches in the opposition box Ivory Coast had in this game. 12 of them came from Yan Diomande. And I think he's going to get better at him. Every single time he's going to improve, and I think he's going to continue to put more and more numbers behind the price tag that someone's going to have to pay to be able to get him away from Leipzig. But he's a special talent right there. I'm so glad Michael pointed that out there, and well said, Mbizo.
Great player. Mbizo, just wanted to ask you one quick question more generally about African football. We've seen a couple of the African nations so far at the World Cup. Given how Morocco did at the last World Cup in Qatar, surprising everybody, they were a great team, weren't they? Got all the way to the semi-finals before they lost to France. Has that given a belief, to the continent generally that they can maybe punch above their weight in these World Cups, that has given these teams the belief that, okay, we need to set our sights a bit further than just getting out of the group. We can get much, much further than that?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not just the recent performances of these giants that you mentioned at World Cup, but it's also the performances of team across the board at AFCON. It's also the fact that African football is becoming this popularly world-consumed, global product that just shows the players how important they are. If you look at these teams, these are players in many of these teams: Senegal, Ivory Coast, Morocco. They are stars in their teams. All over the place in Europe, right? So you're looking at guys who are accustomed to playing against the best, and I wouldn't even say that they're necessarily punching above their weight, at least in a contemporary fashion. But if you think historically, yes, okay. But the quality of the teams for me are the same. If you look at Morocco, for example, they outplayed Brazil, and not by accident. I mean, these are players who know what they're doing, who are confident. I mean, obviously they have the respective understanding that their history is a bit shorter than some of these leviathans, your Germanys, right? Your Frances, of course, your Brazils, but they can compete. They know that because they do it week in, week out in Europe. They are superior to those players in Europe, so there's no reason why they can't add their little bits of talent into the collective, each piece of the puzzle, creating the masterpiece that we've seen today, and frankly, the masterpiece that we saw from Morocco.
McDelivery? We're in!
Oh, fries to me!
Wait, did someone say fries? I'm in.
McDonald's and football? I'm in. Bring it home with McDelivery. Group E standings looks like this. Well played, the Ivory Coast, with that 1-0 win. Who got the goal? Natham?
Amad Diallo.
Late on in the game. Big time winner for the Manchester United man. And the Ivory Coast take it. Were you surprised by that?
I'm going to say no. I don't think this was a great game. I don't think it was a great game at all. But I thought in the second half, Ivory Coast felt like they were better. They felt like they were the better of the two sides.
Senegal not much better in the first half. Excuse me.
Listen, yeah.
Or Senegal, for that matter.
Let's not worry about Senegal just now. But it felt like they were a little bit better. They carried a bit more threat. And I think in terms of like star attackers, I thought Yan Diomande was really good. I think he was forcing the Ecuadorian defenders back, and some of the quality in terms of his final pass wasn't great for the most part, but he was very, very dangerous, and I think he carried the flame for them. So I think based on the second half, I think I'm okay with that result. But it was a tough game. It was very much a battle. Yeah. Certain bits of individual quality, but they're going to be tough teams to play against.
Yeah, in order for
and everyone else, because there's been a change of goalkeeper for Ghana. Benjamin Asare has come off, and the hero of the first half, really, Lawrence Atizigi, he got hurt late on as he came for a ball, landed awkwardly. He hasn't reappeared, so the Ghanaian League goalkeeper of the year of 24-25, he plays for Hearts of Oak there, has come onto the field to play for his 12th international for his country. That's a blow for him, because Atizigi was in terrific form in the first half, I think.
He was, yeah. I think he just got bumped and bruised quite a few times, and that last landing, I think he fell awkwardly, perhaps got a dead leg, as we call it, and that just sometimes you can play on with it. The goalkeepers perhaps can suffer more because they're not moving around as much. So that's a bit of a blow, but he was quite busy. I wonder if his replacement, Benjamin Asare, will have as much action in this second half.
In front of Asare, all in yellow, Ghana, Marvin Sinaya, one of the 3 All-There players. Jonas Adjetai plays in Germany for Wolfsburg, just relegated there after the relegation playoffs. Opoku, Jerome Opoku of Başakşehir here, who's under pressure on the edge of his own penalty area and turns it wide to the left back, Gideon Mensah, and then holding him in midfield, Karab Urinci, the 20-year-old, the youngster, showing a little bit of naivety at times, has a yellow card. Alongside him is Elisha Owusu. They've been outnumbered in there. And then the supporting players coming in, Similamane. You've got Ernest Nwama and Antoine Semenyo, and up front Jordan Ayew. For Panama, lesser known players really. A couple of them are based in Europe only. Orlando Mosquera in goal. He plays out in Saudi. Then you've got Giovanni Ramos. Jose Cordoba of Norwich City joined them from Levski Sofia in July of 2024. Andres Andrade of Lask of Linsk. The right fullback, wing-back is Amir Murillo of Besiktas. The left wing-back is Cesar Blackman of Bratislava. He's been there for some 3 years now. Carlos Harvey anchors the midfield with Edgar Barcenas. He's been decent for them in the first half. Christian Martin is very, very busy on the right side, supporting forward. Jose Rodriguez on the left has had a terrific game, some dangerous balls in, and Cecilio Waterman, the big unit up top. He had a good chance early on, but faded a little bit, didn't it? Didn't get much service. Now there's a chance for Ghana to get the ball into the penalty, which they duly do, and that's their first effort really on target. Up from the back was Jonas Atitai, and their header was easily saved by the goalkeeper for Panama, Orlando Mosquera,
who finally gets his gloves warmed. Wasn't a bad header, was it, from Ajete in the end? Rose well, just didn't get the direction into the ground. It was only about 7 or 8 yards out, not easy. There wasn't a great amount of pace on the cross. And then you're so reliant on, you are so reliant on power or pace on the ball, actually, just to allow you to concentrate on that direction and sending it one side of the goalkeeper. Had to do both on that occasion. That proves difficult even for seasoned headers of the football.
0-0 it is as the cross comes into the Ghana penalty area, and Gideon Mensah helps it away. And the players was at World Cup 2022 for them. Andre Ayew was at World Cup 2022 and World Cup 14. Altogether they've got some 9 players who returned from the Qatar finals. Murillo now for Panama on the right side will take the throw in into the penalty area. It's held up in there. Waterman, I think it was. Yes, indeed it was. Breaks to Martinez. Couldn't keep the ball in play. Ran out. And it's going to be a goal kick to Ghana. And first meaningful touch, although moments ago he cleared the ball for a throw in for Benjamin Asare, this goalkeeper who's just come on. Humble character, they tell me. He's come on now on the biggest stage of them all, the World Cup finals.
Kamadou Suleiman, who took the free kick or received it from Jordan Ayew. He's not happy with his cross. He didn't get enough pace on the ball. It made it difficult for his teammate Jonas Adjetai to actually get direction on that. Headed it down into the ground, but never trouble a goalkeeper.
Well, they have this goalkeeper who plays at home, but apart from that, they've got players dotted around leading leagues. Kamadou Suleiman now plays at Atlanta, was at Southampton, experience at Rennes and Nordsjælland as well. Experience in the African Cup of Nations. He played at World Cup 2022 as well, only for an hour from the bench. And you would expect that experience would tell in this second half. So Poku goes long. It's a dangerous ball beyond the defence. It's a great run forward by Caleb Urinci. But rush of blood to the head, and he skied it way up into that stand behind the goal. They are beginning to create, sorry.
Yeah, not a pretty finish at all, was it? Stalling behind the defence. The ball was up in the air for a long time, wasn't it? Almost bringing snow down with it. As it bounced like that inside the box, you've just got to wait for the ball to come down. Not easy to keep your volley down underneath the crossbar.
Is Carlos Queiroz the right man for the job at Ghana? 18 jobs in a 37 coaching career. Real Madrid, of course, he was there. Manchester United, he was assistant manager. 3 titles in those 2 periods he was assistant manager. Is Ghana have possession, cross from the right-hand side all the way through the box. Silimana brings it under control. 2 yards in from the near touchline. They're left here for Ghana. Takes on his man, checks back again, tries to go again to the left-hand side as he jinked against the defender who's having none of it, Ame Murillo. He goes to bring the ball away and Silimana fouls him. It's a free kick for Panama. Murillo's looked really adept in that right wing-back role.
Dealt with that well. Silimano outfoxed himself, really. Shaped across a couple of times from this left side. Didn't quite get a yard of space. As you said, JP, Murillo just stuck to his task, didn't overcommit and dive in unnecessarily.
One team on the up, you feel here, in terms of football progression, Panama. One team possibly on the way down from their illustrious past, Ghana. Panama have the ball with Waterman making roads into the Ghanaian half. To his left-hand side is Rodriguez. Here comes a wing-back in support. Batman will roll to his right-hand side. Have they overplayed it? Harvey goes back again towards Barcelona. In comes a little header into the box from Martinez. It needed to be cleared and was.
Clever header as well, wasn't it? Christian Martinez.
No goals.
Saw a clever header for the Croatian second goal of the game today, didn't we? Inside the box. Led to an equaliser.
Harvey pressurising Ghana, who can't get out. Here's Barcenas, who goes for a shot that is blocked there by Urinchi. And it breaks away to Cesar Blackman on that left-hand side. And he's been in the squad since 2019. Lots of experience, 41 internationals. In comes across from that left-hand side. And it's diverted away. I think it was Opoku who had to divert it away. It's going to be a corner kick here for Panama. Haven't had too many corners in the game.
Worked it well on that far side. When they actually get into dangerous areas, Panama, it's not just their one attack. They seem to be able to recover the ball pretty quickly and keep going under pressure for a few minutes. Once again, this is happening early in the second half. Are they going to get reward for their good work?
Rodriguez takes the corner short. Martinez back to Rodriguez. Cross might have deflected, ballooned up anyway. And Asare, the second half goalkeeper, punched it away to Ernest Nuama. Lost possession. He looks very, very shy of match sharpness to me, Ernest Nuama, and he is. 3 substitutes appearance only for Leon after that long ACL injury. Kept him out for over a year.
Yeah, it was a gamble, you'd imagine, to put him into the squad. Of course, the absence of Mohamed Kudus of Tottenham has been out for quite a few months already, perhaps. Just forced the hand.
They've won international this season before today.
I'd be surprised if he sees the game out, that's for sure. I think it will give greater balance to the middle of the park as well if he can bring in a more traditional, steadying player in the middle of the park.
You've seen 1 or 2 players. Ghana, Mohamed Salisu of Monaco has got an ACL. Alexander Chiku of Spartak Moscow, good defender. He got injured in the Russian Cup final. And as you were just saying, Kudus would have made a real difference. But here's Rodriguez in that wide left position. He gets the cross in, and they're battling hard for it with Waterman. Tried to hold it up, couldn't do so, and it's cleared away. That Waterman was substitute at half-time in their last warm-up game against Bosnia. It was a 1-1 draw in St. Louis. And I just wonder or not whether we will see the man who came on for him in that game, Jose Fajardo, who plays his football in Ecuador. Ghana now swings down the other end, get the cross into the box through Gideon Mensah. Goalkeeper thought about coming, might have got a touch, goes all the way to the far side of the pitch from us. Then Ernest Nuama thinks he's won a corner, and the assistant referee disagrees. It's a goal kick then, and we remain 0-0 on 5 Live with 55 minutes on the clock. following England's 4-2 win against Croatia, and Harry Kane with a couple, Jude Bellingham and Rashford with the other goals, Bachirina Musa for Croatia, who twice drew level, and Portugal were held by Congo 1-1 in Group K, Johan Whistler levelling a goal from Neves early on in that game. We've seen good headers today, but none in this particular game. Ghana struggling, pensive faces, wearing Ghanaian shirts. Carlos Queiroz has said, we're running against the wind, we're running against time, having just come in a couple of games ago, ranked 73rd, only Curacao, Haiti and New Zealand below them. Panama been the better side. They have possession, 10 yards inside their own half, left-hand touchline, drawn back then towards Andres Andrade, and on it goes to the burly figure of Jose Cordoba. Played a lot of football in recent seasons in competitions, World Cup and in the COP as well, played in the Gold Cup a couple of times. Gold Cup is their sort of equivalent to European Championship or African Cup of Nations, continental title. Carlos Queiroz is barking here at the assistant referee down below us, I'm not too sure why. The querulous Queiroz, which you wouldn't normally find me saying at this time of an evening, but on the far side. Maybe I won't try that after the hydration break. Querulous Carlo. I can't say it now. Oh, that's a high boot. You could hear the crunch as it made contact. Might have been a free kick for Panama. Now they're asking the question there.
Sounded a lot worse than it was, I think, JP, to be honest.
Was it Sanaya raised his boot and caught Rodriguez?
And sometimes when the studs actually come together, it makes that sound. But not usually that bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Caught him on the sole of his boot. A substitution up and coming for Ghana. And it's going to be another player with links to England who's going to come on. I think it's going to be Brandon Thomas Asante who comes on for Ghana to replace Ernest Nuama. Didn't look sharp to me. Had a good season with Coventry, 13 goals for the championship winners. Milton Keynes lad originally, started off with the MK Dons. Great example this. Making a double substitution actually. Suleiman has gone off as well. And the other substitution for Ghana coming on is Abdul Fatawu of Leicester City. Different season he's had, of course, relegated with Leicester. So a change. Fatawu, wide player. Brandon Thomas Asante can go down through the middle, but also can play on either side. Didn't make it at MK Dons really, went out on loan to Sutton and Oxford, went non-league, Ebbsfleet, Salford City, won the trophy with them for Salford City, and then really made his name at West Bromwich Albion. He's been terrific at Coventry. Brandon Thomas Asante, good luck to him. Dad Ghanaian, mum Jamaican. If you don't first succeed, etc, etc. Panama have possession. Crossing the halfway line now. 0-0, and we've been playing 58 minutes. Pressure side of Ghana doing anything in front of goal. Here's Barcenas, who's tried to direct things from midfield. And up to Ayew, and he couldn't control it, couldn't bring the ball down. Very difficult ball for him to bring down. He rolls to the ground, picks himself up, shots off the blue armband on his high on his left arm. Armband of the captaincy. Now Panama into the penalty area they go, trying to burrow their way into the box with Fatawu, the substitute. They look menacing here now. Little chip into the penalty area. It's blocked. Comes back out to Harvey. It's loose. It's wide. Martinez. Harvey with the first effort. It broke to Christian Martinez. He was leaning off it. He was falling over, and he found the side netting only. 0-0.
Yeah, he was off balance as the ball actually approached him as well, JP. He wasn't able to wrap his foot around it. Ball got to him a little bit fortuitously, actually, from Harvey. Yeah, he's been closed down as well by Marvin Sanaya, and hit the side netting. A few fans actually thought it was a goal. Some were still celebrating about 3 or so seconds afterwards.
Well, we've hit the hour mark, and there's going to be a substitution response from Panama. I can see activity down at their dugout to the right-hand side of the halfway line. The word Panama written in white letters on the red background. Ghana on the yellow background with the Ghanaian flag.
So Abdul Fattah will just slot in behind Jordan Ayew, you'd imagine. Perhaps stick the two of them up front. Not likely. Fattah will just patrolling behind, and Brandon Thomas Asante will shift onto that right side.
We need to get Antoine Semenya into the game. He's on this left-hand touchline.
Hardly seen it, has he? Hardly seen it at all.
Can't do anything if they don't give him the ball. This is Asante. Put it down well enough. Awkward ball to bring down. It's cleared away though by Amir Murillo. Of Besiktas was at Marseille for a couple of years as well. Signed by Roberto De Zerbi there. He's had 7 years in Europe, Murillo. Elisha Wuzu for Ghana to Jonas Atite, left-hand side. Tries to squirt a ball forward there. Didn't quite make it through to Urinsky. But it breaks the way now of Marvin Sanai. He's got 3 in the middle to hit. He's gone near post. I don't know whether it was deliberate or whether it was deflected. Goalkeeper was stretching. It's hit the side netting.
I think he did take a deflection, yeah. It was a good block in the end. Looked like a wasted cross to begin with, but yeah, it was good defending. Panama able to get back and snuff out the danger.
And suddenly the crowd makes some noise. There were a lot of empty seats about an hour before kick-off, even 20 minutes before kick-off, but can't see too many empty seats now. He comes across into the penalty area towards the far post. They were looking for Atite. No one made any contact. It's all the way through.
Great corner in from Abdul Fattah. He may well raise his arms and look at his teammates and say, what happened there? That ball bounced in the 6-yard box. Great delivery, nobody committed enough. A couple of his teammates went a little bit too close towards the near post and just in front of the goalkeeper. And one good ball beats everybody.
Well, I thought we'd see, they'll say Fajardo, and indeed he has come on for Waterman. He's a striker, based in Ecuador, 17 goals from 69 appearances. Martinez goes off. And he's replaced by Zarius Londoño, who's that's a more attacking move. I think he'll go straight to the right-hand side where Martinez has been playing and playing very well. What do you make of that one? I think he had a decent game, Martinez. Maybe tired legs.
Could be. He expended lots of energy, and perhaps that attempt he had on goal was a sign for the coach to replace him. A little bit tired, unable to get his foot around the ball.
Londoño on for them. 1 goal in his 12 appearances.
It's also important that you sometimes match substitutions. It's replacements of the opposing players for freshness with your own. To lose the initiative, allow the opposition to steal a march on you in that regard, even if you weren't absolutely planning it yourself. That may be nullifying the opposition and then resetting, perhaps thinking about your changes before they do next time.
Chance here for Panama. Londoño just on the football field, releases to the left-hand side. And a Blackman up from left wing back. He's curled the ball into the middle. Too near the goalkeeper though, and easily dealt with back in there by Benjamin Asare. If you've just missed it, you've been away for the last 10 minutes or so. He came on at half-time as a substitute goalkeeper. We've been playing 90 minutes in the second half now, and it's still 0-0. Ayew for Ghana, ball pumped long between the penalty and the left-hand touchline. Tumbles, picks himself up with his white boots, Jordan Ayew.
Good play from Ayew.
Really strong hold-up play and a nice little release as well. In comes the cross for Ghana. Can they do something here now? Semenya waiting on the edge of the D. The ball is put under control. Can they do something with it with Fattah? Spinning, turning. Dispossessed, cleared away over the halfway line. They're willing, but not able at the moment. And you wonder, bear in mind, half the players in the Panama squad are in their 30s. As I said, it's the oldest squad in the competition. Whether they'll last. They're under pressure here now, that's for certain. Asante comes across looking for Ayew! two, stretching, brilliant defending. Just did enough there to put him off, and the ball skids wide. Brilliant defending. It was Giovanni Ramos who slid in with him.
It was great defending. Abdel Fattah with a great ball across the face of the box, and Jordan Ayew, perhaps a couple of years earlier, makes that run across the defender, 7-8 yards out. If Ayew just angles his run and gets towards the middle of the goal, doesn't even have to be near post, that's a simple tap past the goalkeeper.
Voice of Efan Akoku on 5 Live from the BBC. Well, we have Colombia against Uzbekistan from 3 o'clock. Next up for you. Fattah, meanwhile, will take the corner kick for Ghana. They're on top here now, and Panama are wilting a little bit. He'll swing this away, left-footed. In it goes, edge of the 6-yard area. Semenyo's made the run. Lanced it across the far side of the penalty area where there's a coming together. The referee is already sprinting away downfield. There are 1 or 2 boos from the fans. I have to say, I didn't get a clear view of that, but there was a certain coming together. But there weren't great appeals. Now Ayew, though, for Ghana, bundling his way through. Semenyo on the edge of the penalty area. Can he compose himself? Unlike him, he didn't really, and the shot was easily blocked by Andres Andrade. Game beginning perhaps to stretch a little bit.
Yeah, Ghana just managing to wrest control finally. It's been a long time coming of this football game.
Here's a chance for Panama. The ball is pulled back to the edge of the penalty area, but arriving Rodriguez lost control of it. And Ghana can clear. That's dreadful. Just the ball given away so cheaply. And back come Panama. Strong run up from the back. Can he get the shot away? Did he bent the shot? Giovanni Ramos up from right centre back. Carried a long way. Opened his body, bent the shot, it curled wide.
That would have been something, wouldn't it? Big centre half coming through to steer one past the goalkeeper. Ooh, there is a collision there. I think it's accidental. That'll be very harsh.
We're seeing again the action replay for a possible penalty here. Certainly there was a little bit of contact, but he felt the contact from Corbin. Now the booing you were hearing is for the hydration break. People don't understand what it's for, but let's read in between the lines, and no one will say it officially. It's an advertising break, isn't it? And the principles of the World Cup are being undermined, I believe. And certainly I think FIFA need to get the World Cup back under their control, complete control, before we go to Portugal, Spain and Morocco. Will it happen?
We certainly hope so, but in the meantime we'll take a hydration break, shall we?
I'll just have a little sip there, a cup of tea. But yeah, I think there's some really good things. I love the way the players, all the squads come out for the anthems
before the game. Yeah, that's nice.
I like the way that's
a nice touch.
Stand around the centre circle instead of sort of glaring at each other. Or passing down the line, I should say, as we're seeing again the Ayew chance. Oh, he puffed his cheeks and blew out hard there.
As soon as that ball is played from Abdul Fattah to Brandon Thomas Asante, just outside the box, and Ayew's got to be throwing himself towards the near post. It's the centre of the box, actually, of the 6-yard box at worst, and then he steals a march on the defender. Missed opportunity.
Well, I hate the hydration break being used for advertising and plugs, as you know. So there's live tennis this afternoon on BBC Two and BBC iPlayer. Coverage of Queens begins at BBC Two from 1 o'clock. You can hear coverage of Day 3 of Royal Ascot this afternoon on air from 2 o'clock, Sports Extra 2. The Women's T20 World Cup continues Thursday evening. West Indies against Scotland, that's live on Sports Extra 2 from 6:30. Second test, New Zealand against England at Trent Bridge. New Zealand 291 for 7. Day 2 on Sports Extra and BBC Sounds from 11 o'clock with the Test Match special team. You can join Rick Edwards and Lloyd Griffith on Football Daily every morning from the USA with the big talking points from the World Cup and good inside info from the England and Scotland camps here. You just got to search football on BBC Sounds for that. The second round of group stages begins on Thursday afternoon. The Czech Republic against South Africa. from 5. Then you've got Switzerland, Bosnia 8, Canada, Qatar from 11, and Mexico, South Korea underway tomorrow at 2 a.m. That's my next game. And then we've got Colombia against Uzbekistan from 3 a.m. That's in the Portugal group. Portugal drawing earlier on today, 1-1 with Congo. The big news is that Harry Kane scored 2, Jude Bellingham and Marcus Rashford also on the scoreboard as England got their campaign off and underway against Croatia by 4-2. The big disappointment in that game for me, Luka Modric giving away the penalty because his legs just couldn't carry him into the challenge.
That's what you've got to do to pensioners in football. You need to rush them, to hassle them out of their stride. And he was taken off with about 30 minutes left, was it? Quite early for him, for such an influential player. But at his tender years, you would imagine that will be the case. And good teams need to find a way to shut down those high-quality players as quickly as they can.
One of the great European players, Luka Modric. World Cup finalist, of course.
The best midfielder, I think, the last 10 or 12 years.
Wonderfully gifted Semenyo. For Ghana into the penalty, right-hand side, draws the cross. Shot, and Orlando Mosquera sprawling down to his right-hand side. Makes a comfortable save in the end.
Well, let's hope that hydration break has not dulled the Ghana's edge, because they've looked pretty good in the last 10 or so minutes.
They have possession now with their goalkeeper, Sare. Rolls it to Opoku, the tall centre-back with the red boots. Now Urinski, who's been more disciplined, I think, in this second half. He's 20, he's playing his first World Cup finals game. A terrific season for Nordsjælland, up and back, up and back. And much coveted, I can tell you.
Yeah, you would expect a young kid like that as well to be a little bit over-anxious sometimes, impetuous, make a few wrong decisions, quite a lot actually, but you can see the qualities he brings to a football side. That's a good run.
It's a good run by Fatal when he's drawn a challenge, and he's drawn a yellow card from the referee's notepad there for Cesar Blackman.
Fast, direct, quick feet. 1 or 2 good signs already since came off the bench. Yeah, collects the ball right on the touchline, draws the defender in, shifts the ball past him pretty quickly. Cesar Blackman had tough job to actually stay with him, heading towards that penalty area. He actually did the right thing, foul him nice and early before he gets to the edge of the penalty area.
Confirmation that Blackman becomes the first player for Panama to be cautioned. Started 6 of their last 9 internationals now.
It's the squad game, isn't it? We were talking about early on, JP, and plays from the bench, and the squad who can come on and make a difference. All of a sudden, Ghana looking a much more threatening outfit.
Ghana on top on 5 live, 0-0. In comes the IU free kick to the far post and headed down and wide by Achete. Good chance.
It wasn't too far wide of the post. Swung in from Jordan Ayew, who's put in some good delivery so far this evening. From right to left, just beyond that left post. About 8 or 10 yards out, actually, the defender. Ajite wasn't able to steer it inside the post, and bounced a good yard wide of the goalkeeper's right hand.
Hasn't scored for his country. This is his 11th appearance. He's starting his 8th in their last 9 games. And he left Basel in February for 9.5 million. He won the league there and went to Wolfsburg and has suffered relegation, hardly played for them. And now he'll have to defend because Panama are on the attack inside the Ghana penalty area, and the cross is swung high and through and away and out of play, straight for a goal kick on the far side. Amir Murillo getting forward. But again, it's not accurate, but he's turned away with a big smile on his face. I've just loved their attitude today. They make another substitution here. And off goes Jose Luis Rodriguez, who was terrific in the first half. Not so much in the second. I've not seen a lot of him. Ismail Diaz comes on. And a man who was at World Cup 18, where he came off the bench for just a few minutes. And he's a wide player from Panama City. He spent at Porto a few years ago, didn't make it. He's now at Leon in Mexico. Semenyo for Ghana, spins away from his man, finds Ayew, left-hand touchline, a couple of yards in from the line. Now he's equidistant with the edge of the penalty area, between the box and the left-hand touchline. He continues his run. The defender is there, stumbling as he came in to win the ball back. Murillo, and a good game, Murillo, and he's won a free kick.
Well, missed a trick there, Jordan Ayew, after good work from Antoine Semenyo to control the ball and played to him on the flank. The Man City man was looking for that reverse ball, that return ball to his stride. There was some space there to be exploited. Lots of pressure at the moment on Urenchi and Elisha Owusu in the middle of the park to make sure that they are very disciplined for the remainder of this game. They've now got 4 attacking players.
Here come Panama to the edge.
Around them who are not likely to get back quickly and help them out defensively.
We've got the ball on the edge of the penalty area. Murillo it is, bringing the ball down, trying to get it onto his left foot. Can't get it. Carlos Harvey, who's swept up most things in midfield, alongside Barcenas, who angles the ball to the right-hand side of the penalty. It's chipped into the penalty. Not a great ball in from Azares Londoño. And Ghana can get it away, but only as far as Edgar Yoel Barcenas. He's 32 years of age. He's 105th international. He's been everywhere. Ball chipped through the middle. And out comes Benjamin Asare to make the claim. 0-0 it stays. Are we going to get a goal? Had the 1-0-0 so far, haven't we, in the competition? A bit of a surprising one. Spain held.
Yeah, that was a shock, wasn't it?
They weren't great, were they, as Cape Verde? What a performance from them. The goalkeeper was tremendous.
Fortio Vozini with the game of his life.
He will be a national hero. A little break in play here for an injury problem. And they're checking something here, are they?
And that was the earlier chance, the free kick from Jordan Ayew that was headed wide by Jonas Ajate. Got a nice jump. He wasn't seriously challenged once he got himself into the air. Just twisting his body a little bit off balance as well.
Next up for Panama, it's Croatia here on the 23rd. Next up for Ghana, same day, down in Foxborough, Boston.
Not far away, is it?
No, it's not. It's not a long journey. That certainly, and that's England for them. Panama trying to slide the ball through inside left channel by Andrada.
No roof at Foxborough. That'd be quite a warm evening there.
Went there in 1993 when England lost to the United States of America. Big ginger bearded fella scored, and he became something of a rock singer. What was his name? I'll remember his name in a minute. Owusu's gone off for Ghana, and he is being replaced now by their number 8, Kwasi Sibo. He plays his football in Spain at Real Oviedo. He missed the last 3 games of the season, having been sent off. He was at Watford for a season 18-19. Did make a first team appearance there. He's a central midfield player. Better in the second half, but they were outnumbered in that midfield area in the first period. He's taken the place of Elisha Owusu. Had to work hard.
There's so much emphasis now on the 2 wide players for Ghana producing the goods, not only in terms of creating something as an attacking force, but helping out that little bit defensively. As Carlos Queiroz decides to really go for broke.
I think they've had their 3 substitution windows now. The ball is won back by Panama. The referee's blown out for a free kick here for a challenge on Fatau. He's done well.
He's done very well. He's got great balance, Abdul Fatau. Not sure whether he's actually going to jink it back inside and link up with teammates or get himself down the flank and outside of some very good defenders.
He had more dribbles than anyone else in the championship this season. 115, loves the ball at his feet. Got 9 goals this season. The last goal he scored, I remember, it was against Bristol City back in early March, I think it was.
Nuama's going to find it difficult to hold his place for the next game, isn't he, against England? Imagine that Fatau has got a great chance of starting. A few more days training, however, will bring Nuama up closer to match level, but in truth, if he's not going to be really anywhere near his best between now and whenever Ghana exit the tournament, assuming they don't go all the way, of course.
When he was shining in that period at Lyon, his pace over 3 or 4 yards, quickly away from defenders, was electrifying at times. He hasn't got that at the moment, has he?
Yeah, when you've been out for that long with that kind of injury, that will take some time for him to feel fully confident with the knee itself, they say sometimes it can take up to about a year, even 18 months after you've started playing again before the body is, you know, actually back to as strong as it was beforehand. So lots of work to be done.
10 minutes to go. Will it be Carlos Queiroz, who has called himself one of the last dinosaurs of the old guard in terms of football management, who prevails? As Ghana take the ball to the edge of the Panama penalty area and cleared away by Barcelona. Will it be Thomas Christensen?
There's a few of the old dinosaurs. He's not the oldest at the tournament, isn't he?
No, that's
Dick
true.
Advocat is 74, a little bit older.
Paraguay coach as well, Belgian Bruce. He's way up there. He was the oldest for a little while, for a few hours. Panama clear away the long throw in from Ghana. Will they bring it away now from deep inside their own half with the burly Londoño? Now they switch it to the right. It's quickly won here by Urinsky. Looks for the 1-2 to the edge of the penalty. A ball played back to him by Semenyo, but it
was never pass.
Yeah, just brushed too far away from him. And it's cleared away from a very, very tired-looking Panama now. How long do they have to hold on here? I think they have 9 minutes plus stoppage. So you're talking possibly a quarter of an hour to hold on. 5, 4, 3's counted down a throw in. I wasn't just doing the old Thunderbirds thing. If you don't know what Thunderbirds are, then Google it or ask an
You're
older
very young.
person. Yeah. It's a puppet show, marionette show. Wonderful, wonderful. I've got the box set at home. Still watch it to this day. Sad life I have. I watch it when I'm doing football stats. That's me summed up, really. Now, Ghana have possession deep inside their own half, rolled out towards the right-hand side, halfway line now. The impressive Abdul Fattah who has it. Back it comes in to the tall figure of Jonas Adjite, and they work it out to the left-hand side. It breaks down on the left with Gideon Mensah pushed on, and now Panama have it, and Mensah trying to get back, but he can't get back, and there's a man who's gone in behind him now. It's Carlos Harvey with a poor choice of crosses. And intercepted by Kwasi Sibo, and it should be cleared away now by Ghana. As Jonas Adjite brings it away, is challenged. It's a throw only. He thought it was a free kick. He trots back. Just bringing the ball out there in a dangerous situation at 0-0. They've got a point at the moment, and just previous to that, with Mensah going high up the pitch at 0-0 so late on, when they do have a point, I wonder if that will please the very conservative Carlos Queiroz. His Semenyo deflects it away for a throw-in that'll taken on this left-hand side by Jordan Ayew. Wonder how many fans we're seeing in the stadium wearing replica kits are actually fans of that country per se, or today they're a fan of Panama, let's say, and they might have been a fan of Canada the other day as they go around buying replica shirts. We've had that in Qatar, I thought.
Yeah, we'll never know that, will we? For sure, of course.
But
you can imagine there'll be quite a few Panamanians who would have travelled. It's not too long a distance for them to get from Central America to North.
Was owned by America for a while, was Panama. For quite a while, actually, after they were allowed to build the Panama Canal. Eventually transferred back from the USA in '99. And here's Ghana on the attack with the ball that thwacks in and hits that left back, Teta Blackman. Fatawi thought about taking the throw in, now he's dropped it. Rain has stopped. 4, referees counting them down again. I've loved this speeding up of the throw-ins. And when they turn it over and say, no, you've taken too long, it's opposition throw-in, it's done with very little brouhaha. Players seem to accept it.
Yeah, I think it's certainly helped to speed up the game. Seems a very short time, doesn't it? 5 seconds, but I suppose if you want a little bit longer, just don't pick the ball up.
Good point. It won't take them long to realise that, will it?
Yeah, that's true, but it might be another 2 World Cup cycles before they get around to figuring that one out.
They'll find a way, footballers always do. You'll know that better than I. Now they have possession, Panama, with Edgar Yoel Barcenas, who's been industrious in their midfield area, played very, very well. In comes across from one of the centre-backs on that far side. I think it was Andrade. Partially cleared away, drops on the edge of the penalty area. Spinning to get a shot on goal was Ismail Diaz, the substitute. No power behind it. Easily saved. It's their second effort on target. And it's come a long, long way after their first rewardment in the opening moments of the game.
Yeah, that was, what, about 2-3 minutes in? It's a long time coming. Goalkeeper finally having to do a little bit of work. Not much, really, to be honest. Easy pick-up inside the 6-yard box. Ghana have got the firepower on the field now, some fresh legs, some quality players have come on the field, but just lacking that coordination to be able to really pin back this Panamanian defence and open them up. Not one clean opportunity, not one great chance throughout the game so far for the Black Stars.
At the moment it's a point apiece at 0-0. And what we've seen tonight, it might be the only point these two teams pick up in this World Cup.
For Ghana in particular, this will be just about satisfactory. They'll be pleased that they've not lost, but knowing what's to come against England, in particular next game around. Perhaps, they'll get more opportunities. England, of course, will dominate the ball. They'll be going to have chances on the counter. A bit more freedom for the likes of Semenyo and Abdul Fattah, who's certainly match fit enough to trouble that England defence.
Panama will be haunted by that 6-1 defeat by England in 2018. Now it's Panama on the attack on that left-hand side. Can they get a decent ball in from there as it's rolled into the feet of Edgar Joel Bárcenas? A rarity comes from the city of Colón and not Panama City, as so many of them do. He angles the ball out wide to Murillo. Murillo has a look, he's got players to his left, rolls it to Bárcenas, who gets underneath it and shoots way over the bar. Goal kick. 0-0.
Yeah, some 23, 24 yards out. Still, you'd have thought he should have been able to keep that one down. He wasn't under any pressure, tried to curl the ball.
Well, they do have another substitution available. Ghana, Ayew has gone off for them, and Prince Adu has come on, wearing 25. Plays for Victoria Pilsen in the Czech Republic. He started the last 4 friendlies. He's not played a competitive international. He's young. He's 22. He's only his 6th appearance. He lost 2 years of his fledgling career to a knee injury. He's on now. Prince Edu. Can he get into the action immediately? No, he can't, because Panama are on the attack here with Ismail Diaz. Corner of the penalty area, might set something up here. Bárcenas has it. They're certainly finishing the stronger side here with just over 2 minutes to go plus stoppage time. 0-0 on 5 Live. And don't forget that game still to come tonight. Colombia against Uzbekistan from 3 o'clock. Can't get out at the moment, Ghana. Might do now. Prince Edu with a long-range ball out towards this near left-hand side. Brought under control for them then by Brandon Thomas Asante. Rolled inside, lost possession, felt he was fouled. The referee right up with play, who has allowed the play to flow, says no free kick, go on, and they do go on. And Cordoba's made a great run inside that Ghanaian half, and then thinks, hang on, discretion's a better part of valour here, brings it back. And Bárcenas has it to his left-hand side. And Andrade, the centre-backs, have come out to play at 0-0 with moments to go here. We've got, what, about 70 seconds left before the ball goes up and we find out how much stoppage time. Referee well placed, had a good game, I think. And comes across into the penalty area, headed down by Opoku. He's been strong for Ghana. Out by Semenyo. They haven't got him the ball enough. Now Prince Edu spinning on the ball just outside the centre circle in his own half.
Good pass.
Semenyo gives the pass. They've got an opportunity here to win it. Brandon Thomas Asante, straight at the goalkeeper, sprawling to his left-hand side, makes the save. And the flag, I think, had gone up anyway.
Yeah, I think it was offside. Just delayed that pass a little bit too long. Antoine Semenyo, I think, was who delivered it. Yeah, he just had to play it nicely. He took an extra touch. Oh, that's a tight one. That's very tight. We're seeing the replay. It's borderline whether he was offside. Thomas Asante will be disappointed that he doesn't finish that, send that pass to the goalkeeper. Then we can leave it to VAR. And he got bundled off the ball a few seconds earlier. Didn't get the free kick. Ghana were able to recover the ball. As I said, Semenyo just delayed that pass slightly too long. And just allow the Panamanian defence to at least get back and put him under pressure.
Well, off goes the fullback, Cesar Blackman. He's been in a great shift. He's also on a yellow card. They don't want to go down to 10 at this stage. And on comes their highest cap player in Anibal Godoy, who's had a bit of an injury problem, a muscle problem. Wasn't fit enough to start. He's on the football field now for his 160th appearance for his country. And we're into stoppage time, and there will be 6 minutes of it. That would seem like an hour for them. Fatawu tried to roll in from the right-hand touch. They couldn't do so. And once again, it's cleared away. It's been a frustrating game in so many ways, effort.
Frustrating for us watching, I know that. I'm sure the players will... The fans will feel it more than the players, actually, to be honest. Whenever you're on the pitch and things are not going well, you never think that you're doing things that badly. You're always focused on the next task. You may have made an error. You're wondering, what can I do better? What can my teammates do better? The frustration, I think, comes much more after the game.
Lots of fans have stayed with it, though. Lots of them standing behind the goals. I thought it would be
goal action. That's for sure.
Yeah, I thought it would have been a bad look for the World Cup, sort of 20 minutes before kick-off, because there were so many empty seats. But they're here. The rain has been pouring.
It's a very good crowd in the end,
making a lot of noise. And Panama have a corner kick on their left-hand side to test the substitute goalkeeper Benjamin Asari, who came on at half-time. In will come the corner kick now. Swung into that penalty area. Can Ghana hold on? It's to the far side. That's a great climb and headed away there. Was that Poku got that header away? Some climb anyway. The big man, mind you, at 6'5". Ghana now clear their lines between the penalty area and the left-hand touch, then deep inside their own, up towards Semenya, who couldn't bring the ball under control. Might get a chance now. Oh, it's Thomas Asante. Asante centre circle to the right-hand side. Can they get the ball in here? Semenya holding very, very deep as Fatawu rolls it to the right substitute, right fullback. In comes his cross. Panama with 4-8 defenders back to hold on to this precious point. It would be their first ever in World Cup football. The coach Christensen has said many of the sides they face have outperformed them, but they've got the better of them playing as a unit. He's got great spirit about this country's national side now. They've climbed up the world rankings from 81st to 29th last September. And now 33rd again, after a little bit of a blip.
He certainly gets the players, doesn't he? And the country, the culture and everything. I think he feels like a Panamanian, that really, doesn't he, to be honest, Thomas Christensen. Really bought into what's required to be the coach of Panama.
He's wearing a blue sort of suit tonight. He reminds me of Kevin Kline, the actor, who was in that film with John Cleese and Jamie Lee Curtis. What was it called? Fishing for Wonder? Or
Fish Called Wonder.
Fish Called Wonder, yeah. Great film, isn't it? Reminds me a little bit of him. Here's Barcenas on 5 Live from the BBC, 0-0. Panama trying to make history. And Ghana's struggles in the World Cup will continue. It'll be 1 win since 2010 still. Might be defeat as Ismail Diaz rolling off the left-hand touchline, being chased, hurdles the challenge, rolls to his left, cross was popped too high, ballooned through the penalty
for the first time. They've been put themselves in some quite good positions, first half especially, a couple in the second, not delivered in the final ball.
Semenya finds the pace here of Brandon Thomas Asante. He's skinned the fullback, he's in the penalty area. Can they win it here? It's to the far post, they've only gone and won it. Kalab Urinsky, the youngest player on the pitch, has tapped it in at the far post. 4.5 minutes into stoppage time, and Ghana are heading for the victory, and Panama hearts will be broken. Well. It's only the second effort they've had on target in the game.
And sometimes that's all you need. This time Semenyo gets it right in terms of the timing of the pass. Fatau with the pace of freshness to skip past the defender who dives in. He shouldn't have done Jose Cordoba, and once he did that, his teammates were in big trouble. And then can Fatau pick out a teammate? Absolutely he can. Fresh of mind, fresh body. And there is his teammate Yerenchi. Well, he's covered some ground, hasn't he, in this game? Young kid like that, you expect him to. Comes off his heel. It's not the cleanest of contacts, but once the goalkeeper's beaten, all he has to do is keep concentration. Comes off his heel and into that unguarded net. Ghana have stolen it right at the death.
For a minute I thought Carlos Queiroz was going to sink to his knees. And the tugging on the front of his zip-up jacket, and we're seeing pictures of dancing Ghanaian supporters.
Well, they've broken down that left side, JP, not for the first or second time, quite a few times in the second half. As said, the timing wasn't right sometimes with the pass. And for once, Panama didn't have the players back. They were going forward, actually had a couple of players who were out of position. And Ghana, with that, just that little bit of quality and composure, took full advantage.
They left themselves with a 4-on-4, didn't they? Too many players high up. They reacted too slowly to get back.
And one dived in.
And the player who scored in that 1-1 against Wales in the warm-up has got his second international goal. A lot of teams are looking at him. He's 20 years of age, plays in Denmark for Nordsjælland. And I think he took his shirt off in celebration, did he? I'm not too sure whether he was yellow carded. He's now getting another one handed out to him. And Carlos Queiroz is calling to the Ghanaian fans. He wants more support. Well, they're bouncing up and down and waving their flags.
That could be the biggest goal in a generation for Ghana and Ghanaian football.
Well, it would take them above Croatia in the table. They've had time to kick off, but they won't have much more time. And in fact, someone encroached over the halfway line, and the referee's saying go back. I think he's been decent, Glenn Nyberg. Never let it go away. Look at this, Panama's cavalry charge, 3, 6, 9 on the halfway line. To rush forward, it's going to be a long punt up. Straight at a yellow shirt belonging to Antoine Semenyo, who heads it away. And if they manage the situation here now, they get their 3 points. And they're off to a win, which would be absolutely crucial. As I said, the computer experts are saying 3 points could be enough for you to get to the round of 32, as long as you have a goal if it's no worse than -1. Not too sure how they've worked that one out, but anyway, they'll have their 3 points, but they'll have to defend a free kick here now, and that's a silly one to give away. Shrugging his man to the ground, Prince Edu. Mensah might have stopped Panama taking the free kick quickly. Just didn't need to do it, really.
There wasn't really a lot in that, to be honest, was there? Contact-wise. Jose Cordoba did well to win a free kick, got himself in front of the Ghanaian man and just took a little bit of contact, went to ground, and the officials bought it.
Orlando Mosquera, the goalkeeper, is up for Panama. This will be the last chance of the game. It's aimed at Mosquera. The header down, the header on. It's gathered by Benjamin Asare. And now there's a bit of a squabble because Panama went for the loose ball.
There was nothing in that.
Asare's he's squirming and wriggling on the ground. I don't think there was any contact really at all.
No, nothing at all. Just Harvey is quite entitled to go for the ball. In the end, he pulls out. There's a little bit of contact made with the goalkeeper.
Semenyo's involved with Cordoba, who milked the situation and won the free kick moments ago. There's a yellow card here for one of the...
For Cordoba, I think it was, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure why, because very little contact with the substitute Ghanaian goalkeeper Benjamin Asare. Dangerous ball, and as they get to the first header, there's a goalkeeper actually gets up. Mosquera. Well, actually, he has a little bit of a kick out when the ball is already in Asare's hands. So I can understand why the Ghanaian players are not happy about that. There wasn't too much in it, to be honest.
Well, there's players still squabbling in the centre circle as the goalkeeper's going to get some treatment. We're still playing, by the way.
He doesn't need to. The game's up.
He said 6 minutes of stoppage time. We've had nigh on 10. We're watching it again. It's a header by Diaz. The goalkeeper let it squirm away. In came Carlos Harvey. Was the ball there to be won?
No.
But
momentarily spilled it, and then he goes at it pretty quickly, does Asari.
I think Harvey might have been cautioned. Yeah. Harvey was cautioned for getting involved. In a quiet way, he's done a lot of work out there, Carlos Harvey. Alongside, he's let Barcenas have more freedom to play make. He's got through a big shift, has Carlos Harvey, who plays his football in the United States of America with Minnesota.
As they all have. They put in a real shift, this Panamanian squad. Frustrated so late in the game. Doubly disappointing, not only for the players but for the fans, all the coaching staff, that they've seen a massive point slip through their fingers.
And a shake of the head for their coach, Thomas Christensen. We're not going for the selfie, he said. We're going to compete. Had ambitions to go as far as possible in the competition. But from this position, losing their opening game with Croatia and England to come, it's very difficult to see how Panama can go on. You never know. Teams who start the competition in the World Cup not necessarily go on to end well. It's a free kick to Panama. It's deep inside their own half.
No, sometimes the eventual champions lose in their opening game, don't they? Saudi Arabia beat Argentina last time out. Spain lost to Switzerland in 2010.
I was at that game, actually. People were writing Spain off and they won it. Can they get a cross in here through Murillo? Doesn't deserve to be on the losing side. Too much weight on his ball as he looked to play the wide man in, and Panama crumple to the ground. And Ghana celebrates, and Carlos Queiroz runs onto the football field in his third game in charge. He's produced the win that matters, the win that gets Ghana off and running in the World Cup. They've won this game with a goal from 20-year-old Kalabierinski by 1-0. Efan Akok.
Well, it was tight, it was tense. Ghana were outplayed in that first half. They hung in there, created very, very little, which was very surprising and disappointing as well. But once they were able to bring on a couple of quality substitutes midway through the second half, they always looked the stronger side. In truth, it was almost one-way traffic the second 45 minutes plus. Carlos Queiroz will be very pleased and proud of his players. Ghana's greater firepower eventually saw them over the finishing line, a narrow 1-0 victory.
Well, I think you might hear more of Kalabierinski in this competition perhaps, and in the future. The 20-year-old who plays his football in Denmark, he's come up with a big goal. He's out there celebrating with Semenya. Carlos Queiroz was blowing kisses to the Ghanaian fans. I'm not too sure it'll all be sweetness and light for him as the competition goes on, but Ghana have won it, and they've won it by 1-0. A good start for them. Dotton, that's an important victory for Ghana tonight.
Yeah, you can say that again, and thank you very much for excellent commentaries, both Jonathan Pearce and Efan Akok.